Hello, hello. Game audio seems to be low. Is that correct? No.
Come on, let's go.
I'll just put it for here for now. I'll try fighting Neilister really quick, and then you'll see where we, and then we'll play Limbus from there. Oh damn. I need to bring Modernio. Oh yeah, and then there's like that stupid wave clearing thing too. Fuck. Oh yeah, hi Simon. I'm trying to see if I can beat this really quick, and then we'll be going to Nikkei. No, it's chapter 20 for but hard mode. So it's an old boss. I can't do enough DPS. Ah, I can't do enough damage. It is because this is like one of the first bosses where you need specific characters. For example, you can't do this without Litter because she gives you cover shield recovery, and you need that to not get burn damage over time, which is what Noise was taking. But since Noise is so has so much HP and just heals like crazy, it didn't really matter for that part. And then the other part is you need a lot of DPS, but I'm like 100,000 below the recommended power level. So it's gonna be a while. I just want to see how close I could get to it. Alright, well, we are doing the Limbussy company. There we go. And let's grab some stuff. What do you mean I only defeated 10 enemies? Huh? Alright. So first things first, there's an event. Where is it? Yeah, gotta get the event bonuses. So we have a new Honglu and a Frost Ego. So I'll grab the Frost Ego first. So that's 220 points. Let's do like 50. I'll probably get the Honglu one like sometime later-ish, maybe tomorrow, next week, or this weekend, I mean. So, Frost, where is it? So, how much do I have of Frost? So I have 284, I need 116 more. Yeah, it's yeah, it's really cool. I saw a lot of fan art of it. It's pretty nice. So 116 more. So let's do 25 now. Foss. So now I need 63 more. And I need 18 more. And I need 4 more. There we go. Foss. Do. It's very pretty. Oh, holy shit, that's a wall level ego? That's really strong. So then we go to Foss and give her her new ego. And we better like upgrade this to running time. Alright. No, let's see, what does this do? Oh, it's a single target though. If the target speed is slower than this unit's blah 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 before attack on hit. Okay, what about her passives? When this unit uses a skill to trigger tremor burst on it, gain 1 haste, 4 times per turn, including eagle skills. So it looks like it's a tremor thing. I don't really know what any of these bullshit does. All I know is if you do a tremor burst, she gets faster. So I probably won't be using this much because it's like pretty hard to get the materials needed for it. That's whatever. Another ego. Let's see, so now... use this on... Where's Honglu? Yeah. So now I'm missing, like, Bruce a little bit for him. Oh, no, these were pretty good, actually. You get, each of those box gives you, like, 1 to 3 items. So, if I high rolled it, I might have been able to get, I think I got pretty good amount for Honglu, so it's pretty good, yeah. And then there is one more character. So there's some more characters. So if you go to the event menu, so if you check the reward exchange, there's a Ryoshu they can get. Isn't there a Rhodia ego? I feel like. Huh. I thought it was a Rhodia eagle because fucking Rhodia is here. Alright, I guess time to go to the stages. Scandal in time. Apparently the boss is they them because there's 12 of them in one person. It's like holy shit. Yeah, they are leaving her. I'm like, what? She's so cool. Don Quixote loudly and obnoxiously flaps through the newspaper in her hands while peppering in a few insightful chuckles. Unfortunately, I now know exactly what this means, and that she will continue to try to draw my attention until I acknowledge her at the most appropriate moment. Okay, Don Quixote, fine. What is it? Mitch Esquire. Dost thou know that the city's upstart companies, such as one Limbussy company, must always pay close heed to the ever-changing world around us? Easy hither, read thy newspapers, Manager Esquire, and do keep thyself up to date on the events of the city, as Morso and I, Don Quixote, do every morrow. But just go along with it, why don't you? I'm pretty sure she's talking about Morso and one of his morning routines. You know, the one with the newspapers. The newspaper routine, where he wakes up before the crack of dawn, parks himself on a chair, folds one leg over the other at an exact 90-degree figure four leg lock position, and peruses the morning newspaper. Aw, she can read. She needs to be able to read to get her signatures from her from her heroes. She has like a whole a collection of like signatures she's gotten from the Fixer heroes. That I guess it left an impression on her. Betcha she'll be back to her usual self in a week or so. Hearken up unto me, art thou paying attention? Yep, totally. So what's new? What, did an article mention us or something? Oh, how did thou know? Wait, really? Forsooth, feast thy eyes on page 3. Though, 'tis quite regrettable that we were robbed of the chance to be on the front page. Huh? Page 3? We're really starting to put our names out there, huh? Don Quixote and Rhodia, the two sinners who are guaranteed to draw the full attention of whichever space they inhabit, were speaking. It was only a matter of time before the other sinners began crowding around us, curious about the commotion. A dramatic conclusion to the mysterious disappearances at T-Corp. Shocking. The perpetrators to this mysterious case has been revealed to be none other than the prestigious Edgard family, appalling the general public. Oh, I don't think we need to hear that part. What else does this say? With small assistance from some wandering bystanders who happen to be lost in the area, the most admirable heroics of the T-Corp Class 3 collection staff on the scene. Wandering bystanders, is it? Perchance that particular denomination refers to us. Bystanders, they're treating us like we were barely there. They didn't even mention our company name. Aw, come on, those time collectors weren't even there. This is within the expected range of behavior from the news media. Well, there may be those who seek to interview us after reading this very article, perhaps? Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a grand old time looking for wandering bystanders for an interview. Very descriptive. I doubt anyone will pay us much attention, Don Quixote. Better not set yourself up for disappointment and... We were standing there for a good moment in a big group chattering about the article when someone slowly but smoothly walked between us. Excuse me, would you be employees of Limbus Company? You fellows are. I'm sure you are already aware of the reason for our visit. Oh, welcome to you here. Long and hard have I waited thy arrival. Now, from whence shall we begin? Was she actually here to interview us? No way. Don Quixote wasn't just losing her mind at nothing? I was not told that any interview would be taking place. My, where'd Verge go at the time like this? Now, where'd I put that leftover hair gel from the Heath's makeover? Thou may commence. Alright then. Verily, I shan't rightly take all the credit for what we have accomplished there. Will you be making your tax payment in installments? Oh, so Don Quixote is saying the top part, and this lady is saying the bottom part. Hmm? Huh? Okay, we're clearly on the same page here. We are the tax collectors from T-Corp's Time Collections Agency, currently on a mission to collect your overdue time tax. Those ilks are never bringers of good tidings, indeed. Wait, time tax? No, that doesn't make any sense. We already paid our time tax in full when we went through the T-Corp immigration process. Virgilia said a few days ago aboard Mephistopheles, are you sure we don't need to pick a timepiece for each of us to carry? You probably knows already, but in T-Corp, everyone must carry a timepiece. Yes, I know the rules. But for every rule, there's always room for an alternative that offers a bit more flexibility. Of course, I don't suppose it's listed anywhere on that pamphlet. Outsiders seeking a short-term stay at T-Corp can pay the appropriate time tax for the length of their stay to be exempt from their relevant obligations, instead of going out of their way to abide by T-Corp's rules. As you may expect it, anyone born outside District 20 must go through numerous hoops before they can be issued a timepiece, so they'll be elected to pay 30 days' worth of time tax on the spot before entering T-Corp's borders. Impressive. It can't have been cheap. Ah, yet I wish to wear a watch as well, like Lady Otis does. Haven't I already made it clear that it is not a fashion item? As I have said so in the past, the company has no budgetary concerns. It is given that they would be taking care of such expenses. We're finally starting to operate like a real professional company now, huh? Yeah, there must have been a minor miscalculation or something. Maybe we fell slightly short of the amount we had to pay. It hasn't even been 30 days since we arrived here, though. Well, I'm sure we can pawn on away their stuff to fix what probably amounts to a rounding error. Easy peasy. Heathcliff muttered, gesturing towards Sinclair and Honglu with his chin. We'll help pay you for the time tax, then sure. Oh, maybe. I didn't pack much when I left, though. Let's hear the damage. How much time tax do we owe you? Currently you are 10 billion, 40 million on behind in time tax payments. What? Did my hearing get worse or something? I had 10, 40, and the rest just kind of flew right over my head. For that much money, we might have to make a brief stop at my place first. What other options do we have? If we don't, if we can't pay the tax. Can't pay the tax, not an option. Your only options are the following. Make your payment with time or money, with interest, of course. What the hell does making payment with time even mean? Now that I think about it, I remember someone talking about paying with time before. I never really cared to find out what exactly it meant, though. Isong, Heathcliff, know anything about this? I have not once failed to make payments during my residency at this nest. Thus, I know not what transpires on an occasion in which one fails to pay the time tax. I've never been involved in messy businesses like taxes at the manor either, and in my backstreet days, boss dealt with complicated shite like that for the rest of us. I did see a few poor sods getting dragged away because they failed to cough it up, though. Well then. With their not so helpful answers, my mind immediately began to wander toward Foss, who I hoped would know something more about this than the two of them. And that's when Otis suddenly and defiantly stood between us and the collectors. This is completely unreasonable. What kind of shoddy calculation led to this nonsensical figure? Tax calculation in T-Corp are always exceptionally reasonable. The clock's ticking. Would I be correct to assume that you lack both the capability and the will to make your fair payments? Wait, we don't have to escalate this. Can you get a timeout? Your choice of words may be quite unwise. Try and whine all you want about not wanting to escalate things when you've got 10 billion on in your pockets. I don't recognize your opinion as anything of worth otherwise. No? Then shut up and stay out of our way while we deal with the obstacle that dares to stand in our path. How exciting. A 10 billion on death. 10 billion, 40 million on, to be exact. Wow, these debt collectors are something. The British and their taxes, tales old as time. Ha ha ha. Alright, so now I have to How does so Honglu was the one I think with the how do I edit the team? What the fuck? Be right back. Sinners. So let's go to event. So let's make an event team. This will be my event team. How do I select the one for the event? So edit. So Ryoshi will keep. How do I? Is there a copy button? Man, I don't know how to play this game. How do you? You can. This is where you can. Okay, so I go to Sinners Winner. No, edit team. Oh, there we go. Finally got it. So here's the event Honglu that I need. No, it's 10 turns. So, and then we'll put away Rodeo and Honglu here. We will need Ryoshu, so I'll probably just keep her like this. Oh, we need a green ego. Edit team. Good old reliable Ortiz. Might not need Dawn, so we can have more green. Green and the blue are the ones I really need. Alright, to battle. No, unfortunately, no. The only like bad thing about Limbus is like you need your colors on the side. That's how you use your like big moves. It's like Dungeon Dice Monsters, you know. You get your dice rolls, right? And then when you get enough of your dice rolls, you can use your summon crests or whatever, your attack crests and stuff. So I have to like select ones with the correct rolls. A lot of my moves need like the green ones, so I just got some of the green units. This is like the only time I also use like support units because I don't have them, and it helps with farming. That is, yeah, because I usually don't use them. That's why I don't really like using the supports in this game. I like just using my characters. But it's also very well hidden where to access your support. So like the first three chapters, I'm like, there's what's the point of having a friend system if you can't use your friends' units? And I learned later on that oh, you hold this menu and then you can click support. Oh, that would've been cool to know. But I'm more like using my own units anyway. Might as well like keep doing that way instead of using support. Oh, Pokemon. Wait. You can use support units in Pokemon Masters? What? I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, that's so true. This unit of Otis is my good old reliable. Anytime something bad happens, I can bring her in. Got such good stats. Oh, I forgot. I need to level up Ishmael. I saw she was like 40 or something. I'm like, shit. No wonder she keeps like fucking dying. A T-Corps staff in a different uniform approached the sinners as both sides went on the defensive. It's just one their ringleader. He may be of a higher rank, but he is but an employee of T-Corps all the same. Which is to say that our insistence on meeting their demands with hostility may lead to a direct confrontation against the full force of T-Corps. Lay down your weapons now. Should you refuse to cooperate, all of you present may be considered hostile individuals by T-Corps, and we will use force to... I like that. How thrilling. Ah, this is bad. It seems like a great time for Virgilius with his intimidating glowing eyes to appear. Man, weren't things such much better between us and the guide, but only a few days ago? Feels like it's been forever since then. Come on, don't glare at us like that. We had our reasons, Kate. They showed up out of nowhere and tried to extort a whole 10 billion on. 10 billion, 40 million on, to be exact. You like saying that, don't you? Jeez. Yeah, the point is, there's no way we owe them that much money. We're kind, law-abiding citizens. Oh, no, she's level 40. She's, like, way younger than everyone. Who are brimming with a sense of justice. Here. Virgilius listened quietly for a moment as the sinners chattered on like they were a part of a comedy skit. Yes, I agree that 10 billion on taxes does seem unreasonable, however. It is a mystery to me how no one stopped to think for a second about the troubles you might spark by starting a meaningless scuffle like this in the middle of the street, no less. Virgilius let out a deep sigh before turning toward the T-Corps employee. We find it regrettable that this incident has led to the bloodshed. However, 10 billion on time tax is unacceptable. I'm sure you know full well that 10 billion on's worth of tax isn't the kind of money that we can simply fork over in the middle of the street. I believe that would have been more appropriate if you had provided us some context to how this number came to be, instead of immediately marching up to us and demanding that we pay the time tax. I admit that such an absurd amount of time tax levied upon your group is almost unprecedented. You have been summoned to an emergency meeting in a relevant office to address the severity of this incident. I see your point. Why don't we move this conversation to a collections office in the relevant jurisdiction area for now to discuss possible solutions? Yeah, she's like young adult. Rhodia is like young adult. Foss like young adult. Let me see. So let's see. Yeah, I think Isong and Foss are like close in age. Don Quixote's all maybe also close in age, to be honest. Sinclair's probably the youngest of all because he was like in school. Um, Heathcliff's like I don't know how old he is. How old is he in the book? He's probably like a little bit older, I guess. I don't know. Probably still young. Everyone's like pretty young. Like these three, I feel like the older ones in their group, if anything. Or Gregor could just look older though. All right. So, anyways, let me level her up. As I was like, damn, I should probably level her up. All right. So. There we go. But if I uptie her, yeah, I probably should uptie her because I use her all the time. There, she is 45 now. Anyone else? Let's see. Okay, this one's already been maxed. Maxed out. This band's now I would like work extra harder to get this fucking Ishmael. Oh, I thought there was an ID. I guess I already have it. Oh yeah, I already have made Ishmael. I don't know if you've seen it, but yeah. Or Butler Ishmael, my bad. I pulled her randomly. Alright, back to the event. The truth behind the absurd amount of time tax levied upon us was much simpler than expected. About a week ago, a large-scale unauthorized temporal leakage phenomenon was observed at the Wuthering Heights Manor, which shot you up to several stages in progressive time tax using tax bracket due to the immense amount of time leak. Man, that's some bullshit. Temporal leakage phenomena. It refers to a deceleration in the flow of time within a certain physical field. In your case, it wasn't even a static deceleration field. It moved all over the manor for a good while, too. We measured about 4 hours worth of time in the process. What the bloody hell is she blathering about? Deceleration in the flow of time within a certain... Ah. She must be referring to a moment during which Dante granted us celerity as we were in pursuit of that man at the manor. Impossible. The manager's ability was activated for less than 30 minutes. It is most likely that your 4-hour measurement is a calculation error. No, considering the odd sensation we had experienced as we departed Manor, it is most probable that no error had occurred in their calculations. Do you recall, Dante, as we left behind the Manor a few days ago? Marcel, is there aught wrong with thy daily routine? We had just returned to Mephistopheles after an incident at the Wuthering Heights Manor. Most sinners were keeping to themselves, given the clear look of sorrow on Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote's ever-cheerful voice, like always, constantly shattered through the silence. I've identified an anomaly. We should have been issued the morning newspaper, not the evening newspaper. This is inconsistent with the amount of time we spent at the manor. Perchance it was an innocent mistake. As long as I have been a passenger of this bus, morning papers have always been delivered during designated morning hours. Evening papers have always been delivered during designated evening hours. The possibility that they have made a mistake can not be completely ruled out. However, the likelihood of that is minuscule. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, is the audio fine? I'm not sure like if you can hear the game or not. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, that's a sunset, not a sunrise. I couldn't tell because of the lack of the color. This cannot be. This must be the early hours of tomorrow, is it not? I may have an idea as to how this inconsistency came to be. Right, the TT4 protocol. What's that? Temporal velocity synchronization device or something like that. Oh my god. Settings. I turned it up a bit. I'll lower my end. Oh, okay. Because sometimes the game has voice acting, and I was like, oh, it was very nice to hear the voice acting. Temporal velocity synchronization device or something like that. I've seen an ad for it once. Electricity solution to all your time synchronization needs. Enjoy equally leisurely hours together, or some shite like that. Oh ho, 'tis quite unlike thee, Sir Heathcliff, to use so many complicated words in a sentence. Pray shall someone explain it in plainer language. It is an apparatus for equalizing the velocity of time for all those affected individuals under the TT4 protocol's influence. Forsooth, I thought it quite odd how someone so affluent in time was moving and speaking at the same speed as the rest of us. Then with this information, it can be concluded that the time we have experienced within the manor was flowing at a faster rate than the world outside. That is a coherent explanation as to why the evening newspaper instead of the morning newspaper was issued. Good. Now that your curiosity is sated, I don't suppose anyone has any issues with tackling a new job. The LCA has sent us a new request to track down distortion. As for more detailed information, so activating my ability within the TT4 protocol caused, yes indeed, looking to tampering with an already acceleration flow of time. From an outsider's point of view, it would have appeared as though more time than what was actually spent was leaked. This bloke knows what he's talking about. Also, you didn't just manipulate time on a personal scale, like I said earlier. You affected the flow of time within a physical space. Let me remind you that it wasn't even a static field. It moved all over the manor. Honestly, this situation is completely unprecedented. Right. They used to activate it only on special occasions, like when you had plenty of guests over for a visit, because it was so bloody pricey. So the time tax rate inflated tax bracket multiplied by the surtax per volume from the physical space covered by the temporal manipulation. Yeah, no wonder it all adds up to this insane number. Even like we knew something like this would happen. Well, anyway, you have 2 payment options to settle this time tax debt. Oh wait, options? What options? You ain't like bags of 10 million on grow from a tree, ain't it? Option 1, cash or payment. Option 2, time payment. Yeah, about that. What's that supposed to mean anyway, paying with time? It means, oh. The employee who was about to answer a question of painfully observable annoyance suddenly jolted the sound of an alarm. Understood. I just got a call that they're ready to hold an emergency meeting regarding this incident. Limbus Company may send 2 individuals to the meeting to represent your company. No need to tick-tock and fuss. Dante, dealing with complicated matters like this meeting is one of my responsibilities. I will be joining them to discuss the possible solutions to this incident. So please keep the sinners under control. Except you, Miss Foss. You're with me. Understood. Make another mess while I'm gone, and only Ryoshi will enjoy what comes next. Keep that in mind as you wait. Oh, well, off to go, I guess. Didn't they even give us the chance to ask them more questions? They're just leaving us here like this? Wasn't this whole mess basically about what will happen to us? So, this isn't anything serious, but what's Marcel doing on the gallows? What? Marcel, what are you doing up there? I was told to stand here, so I've done so. Who told you to do that? I did. Just trying to be helpful with you and your friend's little time tax problem. I thought all employees were supposed to be at an emergency meeting. Whoa, a clock with legs, how fascinating. If someone were to submit you for consideration at the upcoming expo, you might even be worth a participation trophy. You might remember the time when some hapless soul submitted a timepiece that doubled as a compass that had a rather tragic and critical design flaw. You could tell at the time or find your path, but never both at once. Tell directions or tell time, it was only one thing or the other. You mean you lost in time stranded in the streets? That was no good. Not at all. That's no better than a clock taped to a compass at the end of the day, isn't it? Alright, TT-52 protocol is operating at experimental capacity within this office space, so don't you forget. Anyone not synced with the daily standard time might find this a little disorienting, so keep that in mind as well. What? Now that's a look of someone who has never heard once of the TT-52 protocol. TT-52 protocol, as its name suggests, it is an invitation to address the temporal efficiency problem present in the TT4 protocol. It's doing test runs in only a few select T-core offices, so if you do ever feel the urge to leave your impressions of this new shiny thing, feel free to jot down a few words on that bulletin. A minute. Who wrote that 3-star review? The man who we presume to be a T-core staff seemed very adept at holding a one-sided conversation with zero external input. True, this guy really do be yapping. Not that any of us could find any blah blah blah. What did he say? Not that any of us could keep up with how fast he was speaking anyways. Anyways, if you're ready, let's get cracking. I am ready. Wait, I don't know if it's a really good idea to be ready for something that looks like the rope extending from the intimidating machine tightening around Marcel's throat. Is this what it means to pair time tags with time? Getting hanged from the gallows? Please call it by its precise and given name, temporal space gallows. Scale gallows. It measures the exact amount of time you owe and sucks that time right out of you. That wasn't the original name, mind you. There was simply too much hubbub and hullabaloo and about its excessively long name, which was approximately 58 words or letters. Did someone ask him what will happen to Marceau? Is that thing going to kill him or so? Kill him? Nonsense. She's a very gentle machine. That is simply preposterous. However, spoken in such manner oft portends that events of even greater ill fortune shall befall us. I'm not so sure as to what might happen, actually. I suppose it sucked 10 billion ons worth of time out of your friend. Stop being obtuse. What is that even supposed to mean? Is he going to be stuck like that for 10 billion hours or something? What? Well, not exactly. Let me tell you about T-Corp's particularly generous system called the 4-hour daily minimum time guarantee policy. How generous, Even when worse comes to worse, every citizen is entitled to the right to enjoy minimum 4 hours days. According to the T-Corp Public Welfare Council, 4 hours is the absolute minimum number of hours in a day to guarantee human survival. Survive being the key word here. My. Sucking 10 million, 40 million ons worth of time from your friend was too much, I suppose. Look, it says measurement error. That rarely ever happens. Wait, you pulled that lever when you didn't even know what was going to happen? Just out of curiosity? Of course. 10 million on a time tax is a historically unprecedented amount of debt, so I had to see what would happen. You could land first place in the lottery and you still wouldn't even come close to making 10 million on. And that's before taxes. I'd say you all belong in a museum of history, if I'm being honest. Besides, I haven't seen anyone with more than 150 hours in time tax willingly step up to the gallows before. Anyone beyond that usually chooses to run and dig themselves into an even deeper debt hole. The point is, I scarcely expect someone in 10 million on time tax hole to just walk up there like that. What is wrong with this guy? Awaken Marceau. Prithee, surrender not to such machinery. Thou unharmed? I am alright. Why don't you get down from the gallows for now, Marceau? Virgilius and Foss, who returned just as this incident occurred, were both glaring at us with expressions that were anything but friendly. They are so pissed. Oh, the 3 detectives. Okay, I can clearly see that you're both accusing me of letting the sinners run wild again, but we had our reason. We had reached an agreement. And you explained things to them, right? Please tell me the agreement doesn't involve us collectively dangling from that stupid gallows. 10 billion on. It is certainly an absurd amount of money, but that doesn't change the fact that we are still responsible for it. We did benefit from the extra time granted us, and its use was something that wasn't mutually agreed upon before our unilateral activation. Because it was an unexpected event, no countermeasures could be put in place either. Yeah, but we didn't exactly have a whole lot of time to debate whether I was allowed to slow down time or not. Really had to think on our feet back then. I had felt a bit miffed about being treated as though I was somehow at fault for this. If you plan to sacrifice one of us to settle the debt, I request that you evaluate our work based on individual merit. I have prepared performance evaluation sheets for each center precisely for one such occasion. On the last pages of those evaluation sheets are extra opinions that I don't plan on leaving any of you behind to take the fall for the group. Besides, 10 billion on isn't the kind of money that you can settle with the sacrifice of an individual. But we did eventually find a reasonable compromise while you're wasting your time horsing around in front of the gallows. And that compromise is, you have been contracted to deal with a distortion. Huh, I guess we were really starting to put our names out there if they specifically sought us out to deal with this distortion. They sought out other fixers and companies to deal with these issues first. We were the sixth choice after the first five failed to produce a meaningful result. Gotcha. Well, the stories are starting to circulate via word of mouth. I will not deny that. So what kind of distortion are we dealing with this time? This is a request regarding a series of similar unsolved cases within T-Corp's borders. Some call it the case of time killing time. Several people have fallen victim to the perpetrator. The case of time killing time. Exactly what it says on the tin. The distortion is running wild, killing our time. Time is an asset here at T-Court. It is not so difficult for us to track down the occasional time robberies by tracing it. But in the case of time killing time, the killer does not leave any traces. It's simply gone, completely removed and untraceable. No such things has ever happened here before. Thus, the significance of this case cannot be emphasized enough. That is why we formally request that you solve this case for us. In return, we exempt you from your time tax debt. Thus arrives once again my time to shine. According to a book I perused in recent days, any and all detectives working to solve cases of urban nightmare or beyond are issued this special investigation badge during the course of their employment. 'Tis a badge that may as well be universal pass and command all kinds of aid regarding the detectives. Fixers! We plan to issue you those badges, yes. Much have I longed to add one such badge to my collection. Perchance thou shalt allow us to keep the badges once this case is dealt with. Nay, demand I be word at least 3 badges, one for my private collection, one for display, and one for business, so that... Shut it, lass. Right. What are we waiting for? Let's crack on with back this distortion. Get the hell out of here. I hate dealing with money problems. I value your enthusiasm, but I would also appreciate it if you could allow others to finish their sentences before cutting them off and going on a long tangent on your own. Alright, have a good night, bro. Thanks for joining. The problem is that they don't want all 13 of you running amok in an effort to solve the case. Indeed, I can't have your entire group run wild in the streets and potentially waste the precious time of our residents. Also, a special investigator badge isn't something that T-Corps hands out like candy. We can't give away a whole box of badges for all 13 of them. I concur, to a degree. Otis, who has continuously and consistently suggested that we cut down the number of sinners, was the first one to welcome this offer. We should have done something like this a long time ago. What use is there in hauling around these dead weights? We will leave the useless pawns behind to wait in the bus while the elite team of high-performing individuals take care of business. Seem rather confident that you'd be a part of that elite team of high-performing individuals, Otis. It's ridiculous to even suggest otherwise. Alright, enough of your nonsense. So, how many of us are allowed to work on this case anyway? Virgilius trailed off, clearly unhappy about this outcome. They have decided that 3, no 4 individuals, including the manager, is an appropriate amount of people allowed to partake in this investigation. That's not a lot. Accepted. We barely managed to get that authorization for 4 after much debate. Then you have wasted your breath. A tag team of the executive manager and I will be more than enough to handily complete this mission. Right, so it all comes down to my choice, huh? 3 sinners. So many eyes are upon me. Not that I've ever had them all look at me at the same time before, but the pressure's on a completely different level when it comes to making judgment calls like these. Looks like the manager is deep in thought, but pointlessly agonizing over something like this is a waste of time. I'm taking volunteers first. Let's see some hands quickly now. Fortunately, I shan't hesitate before such excellent opportunity. Maybe it's fine. My time to shine. Oh, I don't even need to ask me, alright? Let's go on with it. Oh, nah, that wasn't... I'm not raising my hand. I'm just cleaning my glasses. This is no simple matter. I've not been with so few sinners before, except for that one time when we accidentally walked out to the outskirts through the back door, so I have to take this slow and really consider all possible angles. What a mess. It'll be too much trouble for me to listen and debate all the arbitrary limitations this has, so allow me to make this choice for you this time, Dante. Well, I don't think there's too big of a gap between them when it comes to their capabilities, but they all excel in different situations. Dante, are you listening? I just said I will be the one to choose your companions. No, I need to consider more than just their individual capabilities. Some of them work better when paired together, but it's also true that haphazardly pairing them together might end up making them a team less than the sum of its parts. This is all about team building synergy. Wait, didn't Rhodia say something about how people born December and August will mesh well together, and the sinners who will accompany Dante to solve the case are? I do choose someone who can support me, calmly assess the situation, and remain free from biased judgment while making smart, rational decisions on the fly. The sinners who fit that description are. Do we even have anyone like that? I still had to choose someone though. Damn it, I've got it. I choose Phosphor Song and Song. Rodion, Ryoshu, and Honglu. Huh? Wait, huh? Dante has selected me, Marcel, and Isang. Haven't you been listening, Dante? I have certain things to discuss with Miss Foss regarding our upcoming journey, so she was not an option. Isang was immediately ruled out even before the meeting adjourned due to his history of doing unauthorized mention at T-Corp. Marcel did not volunteer. There was no reason to volunteer. Though I may have been disallowed from joining this investigation, I'm truly grateful for your appreciation, Dante. I shan't soon forget this. Wait, that's, Hey, Otis, you know, that's not what I meant. I just thought that maybe we needed someone skilled and experienced like you to effectively manage moving sinners while we were... Okay. I really started the mood, didn't I? Oh no! 3 of them, whom I didn't even imagine my wildest dreams would be hanging out together, all turned to look in my direction. Whoa, it's the 3 of us, huh? A trio is such an eye-catching number, isn't it? Yeah, I get why the 2 of you volunteer. That sounded fun as hell. The greater the quantity and diversity of experience, the better it is. Yeah. Don Quixote tragically drops her head to the ground, crestfallen. I have not else to blame but my slightly lower vertical placement in this world. Indeed, that must be why Sir Virgilius failed to catch my impassioned hand. Don Quixote sobbed, dramatically lamenting how Virgilius did not even bat an eye in her direction despite her being the first one to raise their hand. I'm sure that wasn't the only reason he didn't pick her, though. 'Tis my final legacy I bestow upon thee. What's all this? A book, a magnifying glass, and... Are these clothes? 'Tis my treasure, my collection. Prithee, be gentle with them. Ooh, but why are you carrying 3 sets of clothing? One for private fashion, one for display, and one for business, barely. Is that not obvious to thee? Records investigations, solutions to the 13 problems by Agatha, huh? Somebody's autographed it. So who's this Agatha? Fee, how art y'all so ignorant in the lore of fixers? Once she was a grade 1 fixer who was so prolific that she may as well have been face of the 7 Association. Truly? No one? Most people don't know those lore, Don Quixote. Cumbersome clothes. How thou call thyself an ace detective and not dressed appropriately for the occasion? Here, here, 'tis only right the leading detective adorn her countenance with this special mustache. Look, Lady Agatha says in the foreword to this book that any self-respecting ace detective must always dress themselves in impeccable fashion. Don Quixote, just let go. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone has their reasons, but how come you didn't get picked for this, Ishmael? You didn't get picked? I never volunteered. Hey, it's not every day you get legitimate chance to get some free paid time off without breaking company rules, and I wasn't about to let the chance slip. I guess I did have some last minute regrets when I saw who Virgilius picked, but I'll just relax for a bit and jump in to help them out when needed. Well, good luck while the... Close the Elite Four, how's that? While the self-proclaimed Elite Four runs around T-Corp, why don't we find a place to take the edge off and unwind? How unfortunate. T-Corp did not authorize the rest of the sinners to run about unmonitored. You must understand that we simply cannot let individuals who are responsible for 10 billion ons worth of time tax roam free without proper collateral. Looks like they have temporary lodgings for those who have failed to pay their time tax. Julius was pointing out that was clearly a jail cell. Are you certain that's the lodging, guide? I'm going to jail? That's so funny. Yep, as living collaterals apparently. It'll be fun. Hey, betcha you'll look fondly back at his memory when it's all said and done, okay? We'll be right back, so be nice to stay put. Nice, this jail cell at least has some heating. Wait, what happens if they just leave and don't come back? We see them again after 10 billion hours worth of time passes, I guess. What? Hey, wait, get back here. There's more than enough time to finish weaving on the loom. Calm down, alright. We'll get back before you even... Thou shalt return triumphantly as a glorious band of ace detectives. Mark my words. We set off on our journey after receiving the aforementioned special investigator badges, leaving the chaotic screaming and hollering of the remaining sinners behind. After a while, all we could hear was the sad, intermittently clattering of metal as someone violently shook the steel bars. Alright, looks like everyone's ready then. Let's get a move on and have a little chat with the third victim. Let's see. The case records say that... Aha, there it is. It's just stone throws away. Huh? Huh? What do you mean, huh? Look at the record. It clearly states that neither of the first two victims is in communicative state. How unfortunate. No, I mean, why are you coming along with us? I'm sorry, but we're not taking psychic applications right now. Go away, shoot. Incorrect. One of us will be joining your team. We were going to send an employee of you so that we can receive immediate updates regarding your investigation progress. Pull that stick out of your ass. We plan to send a Class 2 staff for you, but you're... Me? Class 5. See the badge? Shadowbox of employee replied cheerfully as he produced a twinkling badge from his clothes. I apologize for failing to recognize you, sir. I scarcely expect to see a Class 5 auditor all the way down here. That guy's a Class 5 staff? Really? Class 5 is the highest rank one could reach as a wing employee, right? Yeah, I thought so too. Well, don't be so sure. It depends on which wing you're talking about. Who knows? Maybe there are Class 12 or even Class 20 employees out there. Get it? Got it? Good. Let's get a move on. We stared in silent bafflement at the employee who had already stormed out of the building, then hurriedly followed him out the door. Isn't it absolutely brilliant? Very concept of killing time. They're not slowing down or speeding up time. They're eliminating completely, just yanking it out of circulation. So, your name is... Mai? Relax and call me however you want. Names are such important things, aren't they? No, names matter. Really, you never call anyone by their names, though. Relax and call you however you want, but you're obviously here to be our handler. That's true. That does make things a tad awkward, doesn't it? Let me think. I got it. You're all dressed like detectives. Why don't you consider me your ever-helpful assistant who tags along to your ventures? Okay, but still... Yoshi was staring off to the distance while puffing her cigarette and suddenly spoke up just as Rodeo was about to resort. Assistant, lead us. Right away, ma'am. What's the difference between assistant and a servant? You know, my friend used to employ. They sure warmed up to him fast. Ooh, that was a lot of yapping. Alright, so we... How many levels are there? 15 levels. She... Let's see, the third victim of this case is this watch factory's. Hold up. The obviously gaudy and expensive suit, the meticulously trimmed and shaped mustache. The third victim must have been the owner of this factory. Assistant confirmed my deductions. You're right, I'm a money detective. We're off to a great start. We're detectives working on the case of time-killing time. My name is... What? What's going on? Yoshu, detective. He sure is a fast talker. He's talking way faster than Marcel did when he reviewed those chickens. He's talking so fast, it's like someone pressed a fast forward button on him or something. I can't understand a thing coming out of his mouth. He's someone who has a lot of time. What's that supposed to mean? An average T-Core citizen has about 20 to 28 hours in a day, but you might also run into someone like him, people with plenty of time to spare, because they have so much surplus time they can afford to condense 40-50 hours into a single day. If people have fewer hours in a day, it'll look as though he's moving 2-3 times faster than them. Someone with that much time could pick their nose in the blink of an eye before anyone even has a chance to catch them in the act. Ew. I gave Rhodey a quick look of concern. She has to do something before Ryoshu slices his neck clean. A quick look as in a brief flicker of the flames burning on my clock. Would you mind slowing down a bit? I'm just worried that you're at a serious risk of becoming a victim of a completely different, slightly more fatal crime. He shook his head in frustration, very rapidly that is, before activating what appears to be a voice recorder. It began to play his voice back at us. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Bumble, a proud proprietor of this watch factory. Apologies for this awkward method of communication. You see, my days are 52 hours long. I used to live 100 hours a day in my heyday, but the things have taken a turn for the worse at the factory in the recent years. 52 hours? To me, it looks as though you are talking very, very, very slowly. I must say, it's quite frustrating, but I'm willing to suffer this annoyance as long as you can solve this case. You have 52 hours to spend in a single day? Gee, I can't even imagine what that'd be like. Well, I can tell you your career is a very, very full life. I must say, here, having more time to spend in a day means I can get more things done in a day, like sleeping 10 or more hours at night, and having more than 40 hours left to spend. You'll see really is a key to keeping your skin moist and fresh indeed. I'll let you touch it if you want. As though in an effort to demonstrate, Bumble was constantly zooming around the room, checking his documents, calling someone on the phone, and even brushing his teeth while we stood there listening to his recordings. I don't care, get to the point. It was one late evening, let's see, like I was busily walking down the street. I had a very important meeting to attend to, and all of a sudden, an attack. No, I just haven't recalled. I left the bacon on the kitchen counter at home. I should have left it covered with 20 degrees purple salt. My second oldest aunt used to bring up the salt all the time. The point. Well, so I stopped briefly, looking up at the clock tower and was wondering if I should head back home to salt the bacon, and that's when the timer struck. Ah! The clock tower. Each one of the 12 zones at T-Core has a clock tower that displays a corpse standard scale. Because everyone has different hours to spend in the day, their watches sync with their respective time scales as well. So to tell the real objective time, one would have to check their clock tower. Oh, that's pretty neat. Alright, you two, let's focus on the important stuff. Let's see, how about we start with a physical description? A fine tailored suit. A tailored suit? A bit fancy for someone called a time, don't you think? Does it cost me about 58 million? Of course, since it was tailor-made, its comfort was beyond human imagination. Wait, what? Oh, and how could I forget? This impressive yet keenly shaped mustache. Hey, I wasn't talking about your own physical description. One more chance until I slice your neck clean. Oh, you mean the murderer's appearance? Oh, let me think. I don't call it anything. It just happened so fast that how did it feel to have your own time killed? Was it painful? Can you not ask something like that with such a big grin on your face? No, it was just 100 hours was gone in the blink of an eye. I missed my very important appointment thanks to that. I'll have you know I suffered so much damages. 100 hours? So you lost a whole week in the blink of an eye? No, 100 hours for me is just 2 days or so. Still, you have no idea how much I lost because of those 2 days. Repeating away time, huh? An invention that enables something like that would certainly win the Inventor of the Year award and the loads of prize money that comes with it. T-Core really values and supports its inventors, you know. Some people say that once upon a time, T-Core's executive director himself showed up to bestow the awards. As once an inventor is always an inventor. I say that he probably wanted to utter secure on his inquisitive spirit. I've seen that ceremony once, and he was giving away autographs. Then maybe we were looking for an inventor who received an award for that tech assistant. But every inventor at T-Core needs to be registered at the Technology Administration Agency, though it is not without a few exceptions. There once was a time when a rogue group of inventors called the Legal Nine Literatures made some inventions that they neglected to register, and wow, what a mess that was. Every single corner of T-Core was up in arms, everyone dashing up about in panic, making arrests, holding important meetings, while I... Thank you, Isong. Very cool of you. It was that big of a deal? I can't even imagine how hard it must have been for Isong. Alright, so is there anything like that registered in T-Core's tech agency? Nope, first time hear about it, anything like that. You could have started there, you know. What is the power granted by distortion? Meanwhile, Ryoshi, who was completely uninterested in the conversation, stared off into the distance. She looked out the factory window and let out another puff of smoke before muttering quietly to herself. No killer, no corpses. Well, yeah, no one's actually dead. We don't know where the killer is. Who could it be, I wonder? Someone took a liking to my very expensive suit, I say. Disagree, your suit's shit. Aww. Besides, if I really want to kill you. Me? Why would you? I'd be able to move as fast as you do. I won't be able to get a good aim at your vitals otherwise. Ryoshi strode toward him before suddenly breaking into a charging sprint. But Bubble rapidly stumbled back in terror, but Ryoshi was fast enough to close the distance and press her scabbard into his neck despite the dispiriting time. God. Just like this. Oh, I thought she was actually about to beat the crap out of him with that scabbard. That be the case close and, all we have to do is arrest Ryoshi. You scared the heck out of me. Well, I suppose that villain didn't really stab me in the vitals or whatever. But he did appear all of a sudden, just like you did. I see. So the killer isn't just running around ripping time away from random people left and right. Yes. The killer was going specifically for that ASS. The void left behind by Sinclair's absence was much bigger than I thought. I meant that annoying, stupid stash. Not having that kid here is frustrating. No way, can you think of a single person who hates someone like me? I can't even more than a few. I say that must have been under work of some bandit who wanted to try to on my tailor's suit. Oh, what about your employees? Lady Agata's book says that to find a culprit, you must first look at the victim's immediate circle. I have no idea if the book Don Quixote gave us earlier is actually helping, but I suppose at least a very good page turner. Holland can't seem to be able to tear his eyes away from it. Maybe I should check it out too once we get back to the bus. Yeah, that works. Then the culprit has to be someone who hates the owner so much enough to try to take his time. That seems quite implausible, as you can see. But the laborers at this factory, they're all working so slowly, like they're moving through molasses. Oh, most factory laborers like them usually live rather short 10-hour days. Most of which they spend at their factory jobs anyway. What did you say? What's up, everyone? Our output gain saw only 13% growth to last month's growth. Have I not impressed upon you about how important this? We'll be falling behind profit margin projections at this rate. Humble hollers at them in frustration. Laborers very slowly turn their heads to look up at the factory owner, even that the simplest action taking excruciatingly long time to complete. Boss, it's impossible to work any faster than... Phew, how possible? Let's complain more something. Use your times effectively. Chop. You have no idea how frustrating it has been for me as of late. Did you know that the next batch of cogs have stopped all of a sudden? We could understand when thanks to the recorder next to us, but everyone out of its earshot will have no chance of understanding whatever he's talking about it. Hey, Mr. Bumble, you're talking way too fast for them to understand. You know that? How do you expect them to understand the thing you're saying? So it's not me who's too fast. It's them who are too slow. Only hustlers and busy bees like myself who make the best of their time can rise above the rest in this chaotic, bustling city. What? You know, that's a little bull. How are they supposed to hustle or make the best of their time when they're practically nailed to the floor and with what time? Rudy, hey, I don't think someone like him will ever understand what you're talking about. He was born and raised in T-Core after all. Hey, assistant, you're a classified employee, right? Are you supposed to be a big shot? Do you seriously think there's anything normal about all this? Normal? Dear detectives, do you happen to be returning from the round trip across every single nest in the city, all the way from A to Z? Can you all say that you have seen all there is to see? Not really, but then give this idea a thought, why don't you? That the notion of what is normal is just a mirage conjured by the downtrodden and the suffering. That is to say that suffering is just part of life in the city, regardless of which nest you're in. I don't see any suffering in that mug of Mr. 50 Hours Day there, right here. Such hard words. I have my share of pain of, I've been waiting for something to get finished for a while. Do you know how much of pain it is to wait for something but also have too much time every day? It's so tedious. Bumble gently fixed as much as in here before caressing his expensive coat with care. Oh, so much reading. And the first third is done. 10 hours. Oh, I can only have 3 members. Fuck.
전가요?
정리 시간이다.
Maybe we can flip the script on our line of thought. What kind of people, Rodeo, do you think hate rich people? Who do you think would hate people like me? Well, except for my family. If I ever do get murdered under our mysterious circumstances, I'm willing to bet that it's one of my family members who did me in, or Heathcliff. That's a pretty dark joke. Culprit went straight for Bumble, but his employees that he can't move fast enough to have done that. None of them look like distortions either. Yes, if the culprit is hiding among those slowpokes, Clock would have noticed it. Then that narrows the culprit down to someone unrelated to this factory, someone without much time, someone who's got a bone to pick against the time rich. Or it could be someone who's unhappy about the state of affairs in the T-Court nest. Also, while Dante could be right that this power was granted by distortion, nothing rules out the possibility that they may be using an unregistered invention. There may be more than a single culprit then. More than a single culprit? Huh. Wait, I think I know an organization that might fit that exact description. Nah, no way, I doubt it. They don't ever take drastic actions like these anymore, even back at J-Corp. Oh, that's some coincidence, isn't it? I happen to know a group of people just like them. Sometime later in a certain alleyway, a group of unhappy people to say affairs in the nest. Perhaps you were looking for the URDV. That rings a bell. Isn't it your friend, the founder of that organization, Rodeo? Rodeo stopped dead in her tracks. The URDV. Here? Do you know something about that organization? I did hear that they've been spreading throughout the nest as of late, though it hasn't been long since they started popping up at the T-Corp borders. Whoops. So direct T-Corp employees like myself have been stationed all over the nest to question any suspicious individuals. Me thinks it's a real bother, standing guard here, all this stop and search, so tedious. So what are the URDV up to around here? All kinds of stuff that petty thieves get up to, stealing things like time or money. Well, I did hear they also do some pro bono detective work for people who can't afford the time or money to hire people. And wait, stop right there, you. What are you looking around all shifty for? Eh? It's a stop and search. What? Hey, I'm just trying to walk away from that lady with the cig in that creepy glare. Where can we find them? The URDV? Well, probably into the. Let's see, there. Hello! A sudden explosion tore Hong Li to shreds as he was peeking around an alleyway. Speak of the devil, maybe I should have activated their badges earlier. Activated our badges? Starting off with a bang, huh? Good luck, Dante. Let's bring him back. Gotcha. Turning the clock now. Wait, you can bring him back? Dude, explosion came from that way. Damn watch chains of T-Core. Here to collect your filthy dues, eh? Okay, no time to explain, right? Then let's talk about that later.
자자, 대열 정비하고 식기들은 윤이 날 정도로 잘
직접
갈렸는지 다시
알겠습니다.
확인하고 복장은 구김 없는지 체크하고 이제 대청소를 시작해볼까?
깨달았나?
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
핫!
적들이 흔들흔들.
직접
기회
타도하자.
아니야?
이런 것도 되죠.
You're the culprit.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지
데이에
않아요.
거스르지 말고.
Damn, all tails. Fuck me.
맘
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를
직접
털어냈네.
타도하죠.
그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
맘
편하게 가자고요.
맞는 거야.
데이에 맞서는 자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠.
Alright, let's check. Can we buy anything?
그럼 다음
Damn.
타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
Still can't get the Ryoshu.
투입합니다.
Retreat. Hey, participation trophy. Participation trophy. Is he talking to me? How on earth did you do that earlier? Tick tock, and voila! Seemed to me that you round the time and unwounded your friends. Never seen a tech that could rewind time like that. Well, that's trade secret. As and you shall receive pain. Fascinating. Aren't you terrified of time? As far as I'm aware, there is practically no way to rewind time for a single entity that exists in an open, unclosed area. If that or my study didn't reach as far as I thought it did. Wait, no, that's actually a very serious problem. Then I was very desperate, you know. It's very unlikely that I missed anything. You know what else is a serious problem? The fact that we were wasting our time chatting about inane stuff while they're all getting away. Come on, Dante. Hold on, inane stuff. This is extremely serious. Its importance is absolutely incomparable to what amounts to arresting a few small fry revolutionaries. And if it was a true resurrection, then the head would have been after your heads already. So I doubt that's what this is. Then it must have something to do with time management. I'm certain of it. Maybe it works with the same mechanism as the TT2 protocol under the hood? Nope. That works only within an isolated enclosure. You can't rewind the time of a single individual. Perhaps you are drawing time from elsewhere to inject it to the time streams. That seems a tad more plausible. If you were actually rewinding your time, the individual elements of that process would manifest in a vastly different manner. I suppose this means that you can't really rewind or skip time either, am I right? We can't just say all that gibberish and expect me to be able to... The process also seemed to involve a great degree of pain. Oh well. It seems to be in a bad taste to say that's good news, but I suppose I could say that what I'm going to tell you is somewhat suspicious. I was going to get into the nitty-gritty only if we had to venture into one of the more dangerous places like the back streets. But here we go. Check the other side of your badges. There should be a small clockwork knob attached to your badges, and they're mind rotating for me. The class 5 jabbered on endlessly, zapping between numerous subjects within a matter of seconds. Before reaching out and pointing at the badges we were wearing, not all fixers specializing in investigations are strong enough to defend themselves in emergencies. That is why these special investigator badges are all equipped with the same special function that goes into the suits that higher ranking staff members of T-Corps wear. It's called Golden Time. If you keep a clockwork wound, it will automatically speed up the body's natural regeneration process as soon as it detects that its wearers at risk of death. It's nothing compared to what you're capable of, but it's quite something, isn't it? So I don't actually have to turn the clock myself. Well, it takes some time for it to refill once its charge is spent. Ever run out of its uses, then I suppose it all comes down to you, participation trophy. You'll have to take one for the team and bring them all back yourself. You're willing to do that, but not willing to help us before we get torn to shreds, huh? I prefer that. Good. Whew. Ready? Let's go after them then. Sometime later. Where did they run off to? I'm pretty sure they came this way. No more tracks. We wasted too much time on his boring lectures. Hey, assistant, are you sure it's okay for you to just saunter behind us like you're out on a picnic? Why would I run? I hate running. It's literally your job to arrest a Eurodivier, isn't it? Is it, though? My job is, at this precise moment, is to keep my eyes on you and your investigation regarding the case of time-killing time, not make Eurodivier arrests. But you're a T-Corps employee. Okay, fine. Let's say that I decide to run instead of walk and help you capture those Eurodivier rascals. What then? Will T-Corps suddenly stop having problems just because they're gone? Will this place suddenly transform into some kind of humanitarian paradise? Not to mention that, as long as their leader runs free, they'll be back before you know it. Excuses. And kill this asshole. If you do, kill them all. we do kill them all. That only opens up room for a war syndicate to take their place. If that happens, that collector friend from earlier might end up suffering from something much, much worse than having to stop and search random passersby. Not to mention that I'll be getting muscle cramps while running. Besides, isn't your friend one of them? Weird, I thought you wouldn't want me to rush him. Right, I thought Rodeo would be a bit happy to be reunited with the UDV. Well, since it looks like the trail's gone cold, let's go back and stop and search the lady. And ask her if she noticed anything suspicious since we left. Fine. T-Corps employee we met earlier was still standing completely inert, not moving a muscle. Poor woman, I can't believe she's still on duty at such a late hour. Such is life of a laborer. No, they got her. I can't even hear her breathing. That's the Time Ripper's MO. The Time Ripper got to her that fast. She's in a state of absolute stillness. A death-like state achieved without a dimple of blood on their hands. What a misophobic act. Though she may be in a state of stasis to those of us watching from the outside, for her, this must be as brief as the blink of an eye. What do you think the culprit's trying to do with all that time? Guys, this is a crime scene. Let's try not to touch the body. I mean, the victim. Oh, look. There must be some sort of spatio-temporal displacement superposition phenomenon going on here. She is entirely incorporeal. Is this seriously the time to... Oh yeah, there, up ahead. I looked around, noticing the now familiar sensation of distortion. Caught a brief glimpse of a suspicious figure slowly slipping through the fog. You, stop! You actually think you can catch up? I'm not your hunting dog, but sure, I'll entertain you just this once. Ooh, she's pretty fast. She sure moves fast when she finds something interesting. It's been a while since I've seen people like you. The kind whose prince poor with their eyes fixed on the horizon. Here, everyone only ever looks down. Their necks bent and gaze, locked to the ground, watching their own feet, taking their halting steps. I suppose they only ever look up to check the time on the clock towers, but there must have been a time when everyone walked tall. I think I know what that is. It's because they're all learned helplessness. Because you realize, even if they ran until their lungs burst, nothing will change. That doesn't matter. Yeah, not everyone can run like Marcel. Learning to maintain a stable breathing rhythm is not easy. That's not what I'm talking about. Wait, take a close look at her face. Remember? It's the same face she was making earlier when she shouted, "It's a stop and search." Yeah, maybe when she saw someone suspicious, approached them for a stop and search, and got ambushed, we should ask her when she recovers. But we don't know when she'll recover. Sometime later, catch. Are you sure you captured him alive? Hey, Ryoshi, doesn't he kind of look a bit different from the mysterious person that got away? He's clearly wearing something different. Besides, he's one of the UDV we already ran into. Clues are just husks that can be cast off at any moment. He started running on us as soon as our eyes met. Hey, rise and shine. Oh my god, the suspicious one. Anyone would run if someone like you started sprinting after them with that big sword in your hands. I have many, many ways to crush the truth out of you. First, no dismembering. This is a UDV strip. You'll soon regret driving me down here. Per the secret weapon just for this occasion. Watch out! But nothing happened. What was that? One of the 5 grades mentioned the UVA T-Corp branch. The portable adjustable frequency periodical lightning apparatus attachment sound wave generator. This will call every single UDV in its range to its exact location. There, you see what I mean? You see the problem among inventors. They never know when to stop when it comes to their inventions. You pay dearly for smacking me in the back of my noggin.
늦으면 내피랑 먼저 갈 거야.
직접 알게 함이라.
It's so long. Oh god. Oh my god, it's only been 1 hour. It feels like so longer. So much reading. Holy shit.
적들이 흔들흔들.
내가 눈에
기회
새겨주지.
아니야?
다시 복구하긴 힘들걸요?
무지하니까
효율적인
깨달았나?
대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
직접 알게 함이라.
다시 복구하긴 힘들걸요? 완전히 녹아내렸네.
맘. 맘.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
훌륭한 전시회였어. 이걸 오히려 고맙다고 말해야 함.
Still no Ryoshu. Oh.
고통 없이 지식을 얻지 못한다나 뭐라나.
대부분 분야에서
내가
저는 최고의
눈에
성능을 내는
새겨주지.
AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지
무지하니까.
않았던 기능이라 일단
승객이
먼지를
딱 한
털어내야
방만
하거든요.
먹였어.
무지하니까. 헛!
적들이 저녁 만찬 냄새를 맡아버린 손님들처럼 비틀거리고 있네. 한 접시 근사하게 먹여줄까?
Oh fuck! I've been using the wrong unit. I'll give up really quick.
끔찍하군. 아니지.
So dumb. You have to keep doing this.
고통 없이 지식을 얻지 못한다나 뭐라나.
카론, 기다리는 거 못해.
내가
100초만
눈에 새겨주지.
기다려줄게.
이런 것도 되죠.
헛!
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
데이의
무지하니까.
거스르지 말고.
지금이야말로 꿈밤을 보여줄 시간이네.
직접 알게.
지난번처럼 제대로 잠들지 못하게 하면 안 돼.
데이에 거스르지
숙면을
말고.
취할 수 있게 해주자고.
마무리.
우리가 우세한 상황이야.
직접 알게 함이라.
그렇다고 비스킷을 꺼내 먹으면서 싸우려는 얘기는 아니었는데.
편하게 가자고요. 편하게 가자고요. 편하게 가자고요.
메피가 배고파했어.
내가 눈에
잘
새겨주지.
됐다. 그치?
이런 것도 되죠.
무지하니까.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
벌써 끝나가는군. 헛! 마무리.
우리가 우세한 상황이야.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
그렇다고 비스킷을 꺼내 먹으면서 싸우려는 얘기는 아니었는데.
편하게 가자고요. 이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요. 데이에 맞서는 자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠.
Ooh, so
그럼 다음
close.
타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
Should be it. And then we can get Ryoshu.
사건 속으로.
After matching various pieces of information we found from the defeated UDV members together, we managed to track them down to a rundown building that appeared to be their hideout. You finally managed to track us down, haven't you, filthy watch chains of T-Corp? And you clock, he says. It's only an elementary, because I am an ace detective, Rudy exclaimed triumphantly as she flicked her hair back, but I sensed the smallest hint of uncertainty in her voice. Yep, we're all ace detectives. I'll admit, we shouldn't have let you track us down, but you don't look too strong. It's a foolish move to fight a lion in his den. I hope you prepared yourself. Don't you worry about our butts. We've got a classified staff list, you know. I can deduce a few things about you. One, that man's outfit. That aloof look on his face, I see. Look, it's like you're not lying that he really is a classified staff. Too, you're absolutely shameless for bringing a classified watch chain to a rundown hideout like this. Why does it have anything to do with shame? I don't know about shame, but this place sure is rundown. Right. How about this? I'll sit this one out just for the sake of fairness. It would be like cheating if I were to take part in this fight, yes? That is a fair proposal. Fine. I accept your offer. Do we not get a say in any of this?
주인님이 도착하기 전까지 끝내보자. 벽난로에 불도
내가
지피고
눈에
음식도
새겨주지.
준비하고 맞이할 준비를 해야 하니까.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
카론, 기다리는 거 못해.
직접
100초만
타도하자.
기다려줄게.
이런 것도 되죠.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까
A에 거스르지
좀
말고.
광을 내볼 차례겠지.
A에 거스르지 말고.
헛!
맞는 거야. 우리가 우세한 상황이야.
직접
그렇다고
타도하죠.
비스킷을 꺼내 먹으면서 싸우라는 얘기는 아니었는데.
맘. 헛! 맘.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
맞는 거야.
내 피가 배고파했어.
내가
잘 됐다.
눈에 새겨주지.
그치?
깨달았나? 무지하니까.
A에 거스르지 말고.
Yo, Yoshi, go.
벌써 끝나가는군.
보시다시피 앞에 무방비해진 개체가 있네요. 부디 그래선 안 되겠지만 이 틈을 놓친다면
직접
관리자님의
타도하자.
역량에 대한 계산을 재검토해야 할지도 모르겠군요.
맞는 거야.
이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
맘.
편하게 가자고요.
맘. 훌륭한 전시회.
Alright, we can get Ryoshu.
이걸 오히려 고맙다고 말해. 담배 한 갑에 불창나서 다섯? 그딴 소리를 하는 거 보니 네 놈머리에 나사가 빠졌나 보군.
Huh? You're deviant, Ryoshu. That don't sound right. Got some of these as well.
나는 너
So I need uh 10 more for Honglu. So it should be close.
실컷 찍어라. 이왕이면 흩뿌린 피가 잘 담길 수 있겠지.
T-Course Ascender issue weaponry, a rice cooker that doubles as slow cooker for hearty beef stew, cute chicken-shaped plush lollipop candies of various flavors too. All kinds of items are on display in each stall at this famous bartering market of the URDV underground hideouts. The child came here to trade for an item of great importance. That's why she scrounged for every single leftover screw she could find after building her invention. 4 screws for a box of 6, aren't they out of equivalent worth? Huh, nonsense. This box is packed to the brim of 6, I'll have you know. 7 screws. The URDV merchant shakes his head, but the child wasn't going to back down just yet. She shoved the screws on her palm closer to his face and declared, 4. 6, and that's with the discount for being one of us last. 4. 5 won't go any lower than that, alright? 4. Refuse again, I'll slice your neck clean. Perhaps this child's glare intimidated him. His eyes began to wander and search for something he needed, something she would be happy to take care of in return for a box of cigs. They came to a sudden stop on his radio that broke down some time ago. His attachment radio. Wait, just hold on a minute. How about this? No need to pay me screws, yeah? Just get this broken radio working again, I'll give you the whole box. Oh, great, so I did try my hand at fixing it. What the hell is this wiring down the... Just as the merchant was starting to explain what's wrong with the rail, the child pulled out a massive spanner from somewhere and began smashing the merchant's radio with it. Clang, clang, clang. The heavy sound of metal slamming the metal, something one would expect to hear outside places like in the workshop, was more than enough to freak out the merchant. He jumped from his seat, screaming and tried to stop the child, but it was too late. What the hell, look, it's completely busted. Look harder. The merchant, after a moment's silence for his crushed radio, dejectedly reached out and pressed its buttons, exclaiming with joy. Huh? That works? You can always trust percussive maintenance to do his job. The child was no longer interested in conversing further with the merchant. No matter how happy he looked as he tinkered with the radio, she was now looking at the other child, who was eyeing the sundry lollipops on display at some other stall. Took a box of cigarettes from the merchant before kicking the other child in the shin. Oh, that's so funny. No more lollipops. Time to give me a job now. You know, I'm technically your captain, right? How come you're always kicking me to get my attention? You're so mean. The child protested with a lollipop in his mouth and rubbed his shin in pain, but his expression made it quite clear that he didn't really mind this small violence. In fact, it appeared that the other child was used to such treatments from her. He nonchalantly produced a bundle of paper from his overcoat and placed it in her hand. I appreciate you a lot if you could come to our hideout to pick you up your next assignment. Anyways, I trust that you'll take care of this list just as well, right? Your appreciation is none of my business. The targets you gave me last time were too bland. I barely felt anything from bashing in their skulls. You like this one. Your next target's a bigwig, an actual industrialist, the proprietor of the biggest factory in the area. The child's lips slowly curled into a smile as the other child continued to explain her target. The child, now outside of URDV hideout and weapon in hand, slowly stalks her target. The look of unsuppressed elation is clear on her face. Honglu, that brat. You finally fished up something exciting. In her hands is a piece of paper they called the list. The names of those who exploited the weak and the downtrodden filled the paper from the corner to corner, barely leaving any white paper to be seen under all that ink. The child's current target was on the list. Such an artistic ecstasy to watch the look of someone who's never experienced shortened time have their time taken away from them. The child didn't have some grand, just purpose in mind when she picked up this list. She doesn't really care about redistribution of wealth or make sure that no one... She doesn't really care about the redistribution of wealth or make sure that no one goes hungry either. The heinous acts of evil men was none of her business either. In fact, even the URDV idea was none of her business. She just enjoyed cutting the halves short, whether it was cutting their time short or their lives. ROW is the AOS. I don't know what this means. The child suddenly breaks into a sprint after passing the flickering streetlight. The child swings the spanner, albeit at an oddly slow speed. If someone allowed a timer to see it, they would even be able to tell the exact trajectory of that swing. But the rich man still failed to dodge her assault. She swung at a meticulously calculated angle that left no room for him to move. A weighty, blunt noise briefly echoes through the alley. The child grinned satisfactorily as she placed the cigarette she traded for between her lips. She extracted quite a bit of time from the target. That's when she noticed a brief flashing light next to the streetlight. A T-Course surveillance camera. That recording will do this piece of art justice. Child furrowed her brows and swung her spanner again, this time at the camera. The surveillance camera promptly drops to the ground. No, isn't this a much better angle? Awesome, now I gotta level her up. So what does she have? Orange, yellow, green, and it's a tremor unit. Damn. It's one fucked up team. Alright. There we go. Alright, she's ready to use. Go to my
나는 너무 걱정하지
window.
먼저
Go
퇴근하도록.
to
현장에서 하는 일도 나쁘진 않지.
this thing, yeah. Friend. Nope. Company. Maybe switch you out. Change for. Oh no, that was it. Oh frack.
나는 너무 걱정하지 말고 먼저 퇴근.
And back to the event.
고통 없이 지식을 얻지 못한다나 뭐라나.
Yeah, but I can't use the fucking event unit fast.
대부분 분야에서
직접
저는 최고의
타도하죠.
성능을 내는 AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지 않았던 기능이라 일단 먼지를 털어내야 하거든요.
이런 것도 되죠.
효율적인 대처로 개체를
직접
꿰뚫었습니다.
알게 함이라.
참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
가진 놈들을 털고.
A에 거스르지 말고.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
좋아, 영영
직접
깨어나시지
타도하죠.
못하게 잘 재워드렸지? 편안해 보이는 얼굴이네.
그 시간에 뿌리도록 하지.
좋아, 영영
직접
깨어나시지
타도하죠.
못하게 잘 재워드렸지? 편안해 보이는 얼굴이네.
편하게 가자고요.
그 시간에 뿌리도록.
우리가 우세한 상황이야.
직접
어,
알게 함이라.
그렇다고 비스킷을 꺼내 먹으면서 싸우려는 얘기는 아니었는데.
이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠
직접
방을 내볼
타도하죠.
차례겠지. 깨달았나?
비틀거리고 있는 개체가 보입니다.
직접 타도하죠.
이전까지 있었던 대부분의 관리자들은 이 타이밍에서 결정적인 일격을 지시하곤 했죠. 생체 반응이 끊어진 개체의 기록이 감지됩니다. 만약 제가 인간이었고 조금 더 쾌활한 성격이었다면 당신과 하이파이브 같은 걸 시도해보았을지도 모르겠네요.
직접 타도하죠. 환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
가진 놈들을 털.
생체 반응이 끊어진 개체의 기록이 감지됩니다. 만약 제가 인간이었고 조금 더 쾌활한 성격이었다면
직접
당신과
타도하죠.
하이파이브 같은 걸 시도해보았을지도 모르겠네요.
그 시간을 뿌리도록 하지. 깨달았나? 맞는 거야.
We quickly move our conversation to the hideout after defeating the UDV members. Surrender and confess. Starting to run low on patience, might kill you soon. No, looks like Ryoshi's getting tired of playing detective. We surrendered already, not sure what you want us to confess either. What would you like for us to confess, that we were the UDV or something? We hesitated, unsure if he was really clueless or not. That's when Rodeo confidently strode forward and pointed an accusating finger at the UDV captain. Right, questioning time. You always hated this nest state's affair, am I right? Must you really ask? You like inventing stuff and not registering them to the tech agency, don't you? Again, must you really inquire about something you could discern simply by looking around? Ooh, mind if I take a gander at these inventions? Wait, don't just go around touching. I see. This hedgehog toy is a time bomb disguised as a plushie. It scans the palm as soon as it enters within a certain proximity range, and if it doesn't recognize the palms of authorized individuals, it will shoot out its spine and penetrate the intruder. But you screw the parts too tightly down here. You'll do well to remember that mechanical engineering isn't about tightening screws as hard as you can. Sometimes you need a slightly loose screw or two to make things fit better. Another thing, if I were you, I would have made the spine's holes hexagonal shape, not circular. You could tell that from a quick look. You are certainly no common employee. Either way, most of those are experiments, incomplete products, in truth. In truth, you like making more dangerous inventions too, right? You really are a persistent one, aren't you? What are you getting at? I'm sure these inventions eventually led to something that can completely rip someone's time away. Wait, I'm what? The culprit behind the case of killing time is you guys, right? It's what you do, isn't it? You see something that rubs you the wrong way, so you go ahead and smash it into bits. That's a bit of a logical leap, isn't it? Who do you think URDV are? Sounds like this friend of yours in the URDV really messed up big time in the past, and did he do something drastically violent? No, Sonia, he always knew how to say the right things to get people to agree with him, to convince them to join his cause. His words filled me with this confidence that we could really change the world, that really was as effortless as letting candy slowly melt away in my mouth. But what could he possibly do to change the world? He doesn't even do anything, not like these guys. At the T-Core UDV are nothing more than knockouts who just found themselves inspired by stories coming out of J-Corps. It's absolutely baffling how you failed to correctly deduce a single thing. No, we're not knockouts. Besides, Saint has already brought many changes to this world, changes that you, me, or detectives can't even dream of. The Saint. Indeed, Saint Sonia is the one who really sparked the fire of the UDV in every nest. Well, that isn't the only reason they call him the Saint, but that's beside the point. UDV, every nest. Sonia did that. Since you claim to be Saint Sonia's friend, allow me to say in no uncertain terms, UDV has nothing to do with your case. Sonia, are we supposed to take you at your word? First, we don't have this time killing technology. We can steal time or timepieces, but it's practically impossible to kill time. Making something so absurd would surely catch the tech agency's attention. And that is trouble that I'm not willing to invite. Why, you've certainly been causing a ruckus here. Isn't that what UDV wants? Chaos. Please don't compare us to the likes of Backstreet Games. Though there are those among us who want that chaos, of course. One of our foreign members insists that we must take the abundance of time in T-Corp for ourselves and have our comrades divided equally among us. But such drastic actions would have hurt the have-nots, those who do not deserve such pain, so we must adhere to Saint's teachings. To truly tear out the throats of the rich, we must wait for the right moment. The right moment. So it really was Sonia. So I've been wondering, are you really the Saint's friend? Of course she is. He invited her to join his journey. Why don't we leave for now? We can always come back here once we uncover more evidence. Dante says let's leave for now. Huh? Are we not arresting them? Didn't one of you give me a whole lecture about how it's my job to arrest them? Order ignored the assistant's question and turned around to leave the hideout, wearing a dark expression, something I had never seen from her before. The assistant shrugged, and we were about to leave the hideout as well, but the UDV captain stopped us. Wait, if you really are a friend of the saint, then I can't let you leave without giving you some advice. As a more experienced detective, I was able to establish a few things from this conversation, so allow me to share them with you. Oh, right. You dabble in detective work from time to time as well, yes? Is this a common thing that UD get up to? No, only the UD branch in District 20 do. Anyway, if I were you, I will start by looking for a common thread that ties all the victims together. Find out what they all have in common. Why? The Igor Collections Agency knows everything about time. Where it comes from, where it goes, but not with this case. But if they know everything about coming and going of time, how are you avoiding their eyes? Not all of us do. I can't tell you more. However, just know that we have an ace up our sleeve that lets us continue our guerrilla activities in this nest. Anyways, does not strike you as odd that for someone with such impressive technology that can quite literally rip away time without trace, the killer seems unusually passive. This tells me there is a condition they must first meet to use their powers. Another possibility is that they have a certain creed or belief system that they follow. But ideologically motivated culprits usually leave behind more obvious evidence that points to their beliefs. Ooh, I think that adds up nicely. Want to join our squad of ace detectives? Who the hell hired this bumbling team of amateur detective wannabes? Oh, never mind. Now would you kindly leave this place? Well, we now know where the UDV are. We can always come back here if we ever need anything else. Oh, yeah. So funny. Alright, let's see if we can get Honglu.
대의에 맞서는 자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠.
Alright, 2/3 done.
그럼 다음 타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
Alright, go to here.
나는 너무
Go here. Go here. And how much do I need for Honglu? I need 10 more. Need 2 more. Epic. Alright, then we can go to season 4 event Honglu.
여기가 살인 사건 현장이군요. 이런 아마추어 같은 마무리를 해두고 가다니 어지간히 시간에 쫓겼나 봐요.
That is Ryoshu. You can put Honglu here. Noah. Alright. Level him up. And we'll uptie him.
자, 나를 범인이라고 생각하고 여기서 있었던 일을 천천히 상상해 보면 결국 진상을 파악할 수 있겠죠?
I guess I'll start by taking a quick look around. Child leisurely strolls into a dark and stuffy basement. He has a casual look on his face as though all was right in the world. In his mouth, as sweet as a lollipop, and his gait is relaxed and gentle. There was something different about this child, though he wore the very same scarf that others in his organization wear. He did not share their perpetual sense of urgency. It is not a rare sight to see a UDV fight a UDV, but this one's a bit different. The UDVA, an organization established with the spirit of bringing new life to the world, a world in which the few do not hoard their riches, a world of equality, but not all those who call themselves the UDV share the same sentiment. Now that the UDV was widespread enough to establish, that was a real presence even in some nests. Some of their new recruits did not share that ideal. Some of them joined only because they were down on their lucks, or only because they simply disliked the way things were under the Wings' reign. Such discord often leads to internal conflicts. Sometimes their opinions of the Wings and the nests just don't always see eye to eye, and sometimes violence becomes the preferred conflict resolution method. But that's just the way things are in the city, isn't it? And that is where the child comes in. He has been working as a year DVA detective of sorts, investigating instances of such violence. My blood spatters all over the place. All those broken cups, they'll fetch quite the conversation. Hey, you're finally here. Yes, I am. Can I get a lowdown on what we're dealing with? His colleague extends his greetings. The child bends down to traverse under several layers of tapes outlining the crime scene. Well, like always, can't say I've got a lowdown to give you, but I'm sure this mess is nothing more than one of them brawls that break out after opponent mixes too many shots of liquor and overly passionate debates. I've got confirmation from the witnesses and the owner too. One of them just glassed the other one out of nowhere right in the forehead. Ouch, with a glass cup. Sounds painful. Yeah, I was just right, and that was probably the last straw. The moment of no return where all hope of resolving the situation without casualty was lost. The partner muttered bitterly before letting out a deep sigh. Lad, I can't understand how people gather under the same banner and the same cause could hate one another so much. I just don't. It's easy to bring people together for something happy because everyone wants the same thing. But bringing angry people together for something unhappy is hard. But because once you really look into it, you'll notice that not everyone wants the same thing. People all have different reasons for feeling unhappy about the wings, right? Sometimes I can't help but wonder how you can act so aloof like you're above all this. You decided to join the UDV. I bet you had your own reasons too, am I wrong? I'm just here to expand my horizons. It certainly gives me an eye for picking up clues and getting a better picture of each case. The colleague simply could not understand the child, nor could he share in his casualness, but perhaps he thought that was precisely why the child could be trusted to resolve these cases with a fair eye and swift feet. Besides, it was more fitting for the UDV to settle their own problems rather than to rely on a wing order associations. Right, what do you see? Give me something to work with here. Of course, let's reconstruct the crime scene. The child adjusted the dial on his clockwork monocle as he replied. His voice suggested that he was in high spirits. The monocle, crafted by a skillful artificer who once worked for his workshop, highlighted various points of interest. Pressing the dials would play various scenes that could help with the viewer deductions. Look, the blood splatter at all dried at different rates. This one's dried and viscous, and it's halfway permeating into the wood. The other splatter is a bit fresh though. Not sure how much that feels worth. Like how dry the blood spatters are doesn't help us much if one of them was living 8-hour days and the other one 6-hour days. Can't tell who bled first from that. Let's return the broken pieces of the glass. Wait, this is a light bulb, not a glass cup. Then above us must be. Huh, one of the lights is missing. This could be interesting. Let's check the register, shall we? The child sang a cheerful hum as he sauntered up to the register. The owner of this shop organized his daily earnings by collecting the receipts. I remember how he was always so proud to show off his collection of receipts whenever we came here for a meal. Looks like he's been deep in the red as of late. Replacing a precariously hanging light must have been the last thing on his mind. Wait, that means... Yep. Ah, that explains the confused look on the victim's face I saw through my monocle. So this was over a misunderstanding. The colleague sighed and ran his head through his hair with a bitter expression. Must have been paying them to see the UDV's name, to which people flock under the same cause of revolution, degraded in the public eye. It's tragic, but maybe all of this was inevitable. Expecting everything to go right in a world of ever-shifting chaos is just some burden dreaming of excessive idealism. Ooh. So long. Alright, let's level him up. Alright, go back here. Go back here. Go back here. Which one was the event one? I don't remember. Let's see. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, this was the event one. So we'll change out. Like. So, I guess. And I'll take this one. I should level his stuff up. What? Where'd it go?
나는 너무 걱정하지 말고.
Let's see, what do we get from passive? I don't feel like following his thing up though. Anyway, there, challenge my Otis. The Otis always reveal itself through this lens. Looks like you got it. Otis loose yourself, thus the Otis to move. Trapped in stop time for eternity. Answer screw C's. Alright, back to the game. For exchange, what can we get? So this one is special ticket, change from special banner. All those the summon tickets. I guess we'll get the high rewards next. Well then, the UDV is soaring up and down that they got nothing to do with this case, and the time is still at large. Well, not ace detectives, but we don't have any other leads. The one we talked to just left the hideout, so why don't we follow him? Want to tail that UDV? Well, looks like not arresting them may pay off after all. I think it's a fair suggestion. A waste of time. We should torture them one by one until someone breaks. According to page 155 of Lady Agatha's book, an ace detective must always remain vigilant and not shy away from stakeouts. Before you're already on page 155. Don Quixote gave us this book so that we can all become ace detectives, because I've been reading it whenever I can. UDV's petty time thievery won't change the world. Is that why you're letting them go? Because it doesn't matter. Huh? No, not at all. It's the opposite, in fact. I want to see things change. It is said that the UDV started from a small group of nobodies, but they kept at it, slowly but surely, spreading throughout the city. I hear that they've been causing some real trouble in some nests, that they find it difficult to get rid of them. Do you know what people have been saying here at T-Court? Running low on time, but burning full of frustration. They come join the UDV. Unlike most people who accept injustice and move on, they don't. They refuse to turn a blind eye, confident and determined that they will one day bring real changes to the city. It's only natural that I find them extremely fascinating. To what end do their desperate desires and aspirations lead? Nothing but impotent squirmings. I'm sorry, do any of you even give a damn about solving the case? This case has a certain destructive aesthetic to it. I like it. I'm following my family elders' words to see and experience as much of the world as I can before I return, because their words would better be followed. Well, it's certainly bothersome. So many things in this world presuming that they deserve to call themselves family. Yeah, I never heard you talk like that, Ryoshu. What will you ever accomplish? With such half-heartedness? Don't worry about it. Most people live on with that very half-heartedness. It's been eons since I really desired something with all my heart, you know. No, I'm not most people. I'm... From the distance, a loud, rapid footstep broke through Rhodia's quiet whispers. I knew it. The culprit was a UDV. Gah! They're here. Won't get them to slip this time. Okay, let's go. Maybe you'll catch them this time if you learn how to breathe like Marceau, Ryoshu. Rhodia, let's. Rhodia came to a sudden stop and looked at me. Dragged me from underneath the shadows cast over her eyes. Dante, do you think it would have been any different if I followed Sonia back at the casino? Why do you ask? I mean, it's just... Watching Sonia's gold lashes sort of take shape while stagnating and changing. It's making me feel, what do you hesitate, odd. An odd impression. Your late clock. The two sinners had a head start, but didn't take very long before we caught up to them and saw them quietly kneeling behind cover. We'll go ahead and draw their attention. We should be able to corner them in this direction. Since Yoshi and Honglu are out to draw the culprit here, we just have to do our part and capture them. Yeah, what's wrong, Rhodia? It's just, every time I think about Sonia, I remember about all the things that I couldn't do, that's all. Rhodia? Nope, not gonna let this drag me now. I just gotta do what I can, right? It would be so nice if the culprit showed up right now so I can get my hands on him and get this over with. All this waiting around is getting so tedious. We'll look real badass when I arrest him. You certainly recovered quick. Now that's a good attitude to have. Well, you know, ain't that how emotions supposed to be? Constantly change your time, you know? Isn't now? I don't quite agree. Emotions don't change with time. I say that changing emotions are what drive the flow of time. That's some complicated stuff. It takes me to hear all the praises they'll sing of me once I snag this UDV rascal. That's all. No, I want to be an ace detective. You should have your chance. Chance for you to be the center of attention and subject of praise. That long coat, that hat, you're... Or yeah, Dante, that culprit ran that way. You're the Time Ripper. Correct. This isn't good. It'll take a while for Honglu and Ryoshi to get here. Before we get down to business, allow me to make a few corrections. One, I'm no longer bound to an organization like the UDV. In fact, I found their hypocrisy detestable. Did you know that even the UDV did not use their hours equally amongst one another? That's why I've chosen action. Two, I'm not killing time. You will not compare my crusade to something so hollow. I merely reap the dying hours to share it among those who need it most. You may call me the Time Saint instead. What the hell are you talking about? Shut up, man. All this flying over your heads, isn't it? You poor little thing. Starve for even a morsel of praise. This is both the correction of your ignorance and our final warning. If you wish to capture me, no us, then you must be prepared to pay the price in time. Was that an attempt at a threat? Huh, do you seriously think you can scare me like that? Sure, you're the big scary Time Ripper, but I've got you all figured out. I know your patterns. There is something staying in your hand, isn't there? Whether it's your creed, some kind of design flaw in your tech, you can't touch my time. How'd you like this ace detective's deduction? Huh? Half right, but you have given me two more corrections to make. One, I am not the one killing time. It's you and everyone like you who's killing time. Two, indeed, we cannot rip time away just from anyone. No, but I can take yours, because you, at this very moment, are mired in tedium. What? Just biding the time, aren't you? Waiting for something to happen. Killing time. We are merely taking back the time that you would have killed anyway. Seeing that accident, you might carve a small chunk of our flesh, but we will rip a chunk out of your existence. We will stir awake when the clock strikes 4 in 50 years' time. Having done nothing, having lived through nothing, all nothing for an eye. That's when it shall dawn on you, that despair, oh, come rushing like in like a flood, that disparity, the unfamiliarity of all the time you killed, every pain, a reminder of every single second you killed, thinking about how tedious it all is. Look scared. We like that looking in your eyes. Rudy stood there completely frozen. No one could stop the time ripper as he walked away from us. Not me, not Rhodia, the culprit Rade. I thought I could take them on, but when I came face to face with the ripper, how could you give them the slip? They threatened her that they were going to rip away her time. Oh no. And the ripper knew. They knew how I felt, so never mind. It seemed to me that Rhodia decided not to say it out loud, but I knew the word she wanted to say was tedious. Pathetic. Unlike you, Ryoshu, my time is important. I'm not here just to make those stupid, pointless observations about the case. I didn't volunteer out of some weird obligation either, okay? I volunteered because I genuinely want to solve the case. I'm not like you. Either of you. I briefly grew concerned that Ryoshu might swing her scabbard at Rhodia, but I don't think she was listening anyway. How banal. Instead, she stared up at the clock tower in silence as her cigarette slowly burned its way to her lips. I guess that's a relief. Rhodia, sorry. I think I'm just getting tired of wearing a silly smile. Okay, I still don't want a screenshot of that scene. Let me... let's go back. Oh, damn it, I clicked too fast. Roddy was always the one to lift the team's mood when it's down, but the mood among us had grown so incredibly awkward and cold that I was almost starting to feel a chill on my fingers. I guess this is what happens when Roddy is in a depressed mood. If we were back at the bus, or if Isang or Gregor were here, they would have at least tried to do something to break the ice, but neither Ryoshin nor Honglu were the kind of people to be heavily affected by such a frosty mood, so we just trudged on with our investigation. Huh. Looks like the culprit got him in the middle of something. He knew the Ripper. How could you tell? By looking at his eyes, isn't it obvious? That look in his eyes, it's the kind of look that people have in their eyes when getting killed by a rat, you know. He's not exactly dead, you know. This dead body looks kind of different from the last one we saw, though. Not a dead body either, but what is it? The culprit tore his scarf in half. Maybe they really disagreed with his fashion choices? He must live like fools in the eyes of others, so that we may see a path invisible to them. Rhodia, it's something Sonia once said, told me that the scarf was a yoke to hide the great ambition, that those with such dreams must remain bound. But I don't see you wearing that scarf. I just think it cramps my style. Then chopping the scarf in half would mean that the killer might be a former member of your DVA. We should go back to the hideout and ask around. Sometime later. Damn it, Ripper got our boss? Huh? Are you asking if anyone quit recently? Well, it's not like they formally quit or anything, but there were some who completely cut off the grid. No one to steal the surplus time at T-Court to share it equally among everyone. Yeah, I remember a lad who said something like that. When his younger brother died, he became a bit weird. Anyone want to go along with that plan? I'm sure there are some, but we shouldn't. Really, you're DVA. We must bide our time until the Saint gives us the word. Is that so? Where is he? No idea. Last I heard, he said something like, I'll always be watching you. Creepy, isn't it? But I suppose that means that he's still hanging about somewhere within T-Court borders. Our boss has gotta be back to normal, right? He'll always be watching, huh? Clock. I always burn a cig after I kill, but you're always smoking, because it takes about 4 minutes for the cig to burn all the way through. I had to watch as the light of life slowly burn out in their dying eyes. It really enhances the flavor. 4 minutes. I know that it takes exactly 4 minutes for the cigarettes to burn away, but only 2 minutes have passed on that clock tower. Well, that doesn't make sense. How come no one noticed that the clock tower was broken? This isn't a new development, by the way. From the moment our little game of detectives started to this precise moment, the clock tower always measured only 2 minutes by the time we finished smoking. Didn't someone say that's because people have learned to be helpless? I've been waiting for something to get finished for a while. Do you know how much of a pain it is to wait for something but also have too much time in your day? It's so tedious. I think it's a real bother. Standing guard here, all this stop and search, so tedious. Hey, assistant. What were the first 2 victims doing at the Ripper's shot? Let's see, one of them was attacked while purchasing a 13-flavor lollipop candy, and the other one was reading a comic book staring at T-Court Ventures as its protagonist. I say it's a pretty fun read. There are a lot of clock towers in T-Court, a total of 12 in the entire T-Court, but just one in this general area. The time Rivers struck only near this clock tower, didn't they? Right on, detective. Well, they slowed down the clock tower and made everyone in the area feel that sense of extreme tedium. Tedium, I see, so that's what it was. You can rip time only from people who are bored. The clock tower should give me a nice view to blow smoke at. But here's something I thought I would mention. You know that you need actual evidence to make an arrest, right, detectives? Huh? But to catch them in the act, can't go around arresting people just because you feel like it. What, do we have to let them attack us or something? Just so we can catch them in the act? Don't you know, he can literally rip the time out of you. One small mistake, he might wake up weeks, months, or even years later. We don't even know if that's the kind of thing that Dante can rewind. Yes, it's all very tragic, but still a part of your responsibilities. Do you even care about catching the culprit? Or is learning how he rips time all you care about? Right on again, ace detective. Huh, I once thought there was no inventions in T-Courts that I didn't know their ins and outs about. You see, I have the intricate knowledge of the mechanism of every single machinery in existence in T-Court. I even know about the bizarre contraption your friend back at the jail cell invented while he was here. I didn't want that invention to be beholden to the T-Court Patents Agency. No, I want to watch as it spread throughout the city, which is why I didn't try very hard to stop him as he escaped through the back streets. It wasn't because I was lazy, mind. So to answer the question, no. Like in the case of the League of Nine Literatures, I don't care whether we catch the culprit or not. I'm just curious about the exact mechanism behind how he rips time. It's the nature of being an inventor. Agreed. How am I supposed to even get anything done with people like... Excuse me, Mr. Assistant. I have something I'd like to ask you. Back when Rousseau stood on the temporal scale gallows, didn't the machine beep very loudly? Oh, that resistant friend. Yes, it did. If you have the intricate knowledge of the mechanisms of every single machinery in existence in T-Court, then do you also know why it malfunctioned? Of course. Why was the gallows able to take 10 billion ons worth of time from Rousseau? Was it really because it was broken? What are you talking about? It's statistically impossible for machines of my design to have any faults, usually. And the source of that error must be Rousseau or all of us, right? Not the machine. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You're not only looking at the part, also acting part of an ace detective. Could have fooled me. All credit go to Lady Agatha. She did say that one of the qualities of an ace detective is a mind of bottomless inquisitiveness, after all. I thought the condition of getting exempt from our time tax was that we had to catch the culprit. That was what I was thinking when the classified auditor began speaking again as if to address my concerns. I'm not saying that I won't cooperate, of course. I may have even devised a plan for you, though it may be somewhat simple. Now listen close.
명단에 있는 놈들 모두 명단이다.
So, will this really work? I guess it's barely a plan, more like something we came up in the last 10 minutes, but still annoying. Shh, let's hide. Hi, I've been waiting for you. Did you just say hi to the Ripper? How interesting. Not only did you know that I'd be coming here, but you also had the manners to extend your greetings. I see, you've been telling us this whole time. Of course. You were right under our noses all this time, weren't you? You're one of those fools playing pretend as detectives, aren't you? Killing time. You're right. Say, can you teach me how to make the most of my time? Use your time, he might tell you. What, 30 hours? What is this? A bloody joke? That ain't enough. Just think about all those hours we've lost fleeing from those sods. We could have spent that time ripping more hours from others. I say that it's only fair to take 300 hours from it. Agreed. He's one of the Nest Slacky, working with those filthy watch chains of T-Corp. He deserves it. If we let him go, he'll only bring further trouble. Let's show them what happens to those that pose us. Seconded, let's try to extract the exact amount of hours that evenly splits into 12 pieces. Saw that. Let's stab as deep as we can go. We don't want the repeat of the fat cat of the factory. So we're aiming straight for the center. We're not letting this bastard slip away with just a gash of 100 hours. Fine, I'll decide the time. We'll stab as deep as we can and rip 1,000 hours from him. That should be more than enough time for us to happily share. Well, I suppose we'll be losing our sense of taste for the next 1,000 hours. If we divide the burden of 1,000 hours equal amongst one another, yeah, I can roll with that. Oh, it's almost like there are multiple personalities in there, all taking turns to speak. The culprit wasn't the only one who suddenly began to behave strangely. Only did too. His face relaxed into a tranquil look, as though he was ready to let something go, or perhaps that was an expression of liberation. 1,000 hours. Well, 1,000 hours have passed in the blink of an eye. Yes, and there'll be no pain, only the despair that awaits you upon your awakening. Then, I like that. Rip my time away. He didn't mean that, did he? A time-tearing razor, is it? So that has a core, the power that extracts time. Though there was no invention at all, but a distortion. Why, it's still highly fascinating. So this is the kind of power that a distortion can grant. Powers that only one could have dreamt of. After a lengthy silence, as though the world itself had come to a grinding halt. Why can't we rip away your time? I see. Everything well according to plan. It's all so same. I blinked, but the world is just as familiar and changes as ever. What? You've walked right into a trap, you daft idiots. Don't you understand? Detective AOTS. Phew, that's a relief. Had me worried for a moment there. About 30 minutes ago, like I said earlier, the temporal scale galley isn't broken. This error was caused by you. Your time, and this applies to all 12 of you, was already bound to someone else's time. Someone else's time? Me? This caused a multi-reference error in the temporal scale gallows, which was supposed to hang your time. So what you're saying is, because we were living within Dante's time, the gallows couldn't hang our time? I had no idea. Well, all that is news to us, then there's really no way for the time ripper to know that either. So once the time ripper arrives and tries to rip my time away from me, that's when Rodi and Yoshi can swoop in like an awesome people you are and arrest the culprit. And that's how this trap came to be. But what if, and really what if time ripper managed to rip Honolu's time away? Don't worry, Dante. It's all going to be okay. I wonder how long the racket would last once the news of a malfunctioning clock tower breaks. Would it be so entertaining to watch as people's trust in the institution of the supposedly unerring clock tower crumble? It's going to be such a fun show. I'll try my best not to malfunction. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. Yay, participation trophy. I used to really hate the sound of clocks. I don't know when it sounded, but I started associating its noise with perpetual cycles of pain. Like, it's some premonition that a clock hand-shaped blade will one day cleave clean through me. But your time, if you will. But your noise, it's a bit different. It's the kind of noise that makes me dream up something new, something different. And it's not pain. Well, that's why I want to extend my gratitude. Not sure what he's extending his gratitude for, but can someone ask him to do something for me? Not as a request. Right, request away. I think I've had enough experience into it when a big fight's about to break out, and I'm getting that exact feeling that something's about to happen. So, it's time for you to return to other sinners. I can't believe they actually kept us in prison the whole time, only to let us out right before they caught the culprit. So how was it, manager? Eventually just 3 sinners. Was it nice? I trust that you have learned your absence and felt, and that I trust you have learned your lesson, and that my absence was deeply felt. I'm aching all over just from sitting inside that jail cell. I don't ever want to go back to a place like that. Right. So that saw the time ripper or something. The distortion room must defeat.
자자, 대열 정비하고 식기들이
자자.
정도로 잘 갈렸는지 다시 확인하고 복장은 구김 없는지 체크하고 이제 대청소를 시작해 볼까?
Damn. Wait, did I have the sinners? Fuck.
너무 먹어만 됐나? 약간 몸도 둔한 것 같고.
Oh my god, I did have them. Alright.
현장 지휘자가
네, 출발하죠.
고래를 향해
출발합니다. 출발합니다. 출발합니다.
제가 파질 상대가 있나 보군. 가보지.
I didn't even notice because I was like so used to just 3.
대부분 분야에서 저는 최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지 않았던 기능이라 일단 먼지를 털어내야 하거든요.
저놈을 추적해.
지금 뭘 잘못했는지는 알기나 해. 드라마에서 봤어.
주인님이 도착하기 전까지 끝내보자. 벽난로에 불도 지피고 음식도 준비하고 맞이할 준비를 해야 하니까.
총원 돌격! 이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
사실 이런 보모구실은 제가 아니라 세피라들의 역할이긴 하죠. 관리자님도 알다시피 저는 언제나 수십 명의 몫을 해내고 있으니까요.
It's still one more turn though.
타던
Not turn. Level. I don't know. This is the final. Can't believe every single fucking hit and miss.
선원들
자자, 대열
나를
정비하고
보호해라.
식기들은 윤이 날 정도로 잘 갈렸는지
직접
다시
사도하죠.
확인하고 복장은
예측대로.
구김 없는지 체크하고 이제 대청소를 시작해볼까?
개체의 정보와는 상반되는 공격으로 인해 제압 소요 시간이 증가하였습니다. 정보를 통째로 외운다는 행위가 관리자님에게는 다소 어려운 작업인가 보군요. 데이터를 갱신하죠.
이런 것도 되죠.
무얼 잘못했는지 아는 것부터가 시작이랬어.
상태가 좋지 않은 직원이
나를
보입니다.
보호해라.
높은 확률로 곧 치명상을 입을 수도 있겠군요. 관리자님의 냉철한 판단력이 필요할 때입니다.
직접 타도하죠.
저놈을 추적해.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
카론, 기다리는 거 못해. 100초만 기다려줄게.
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨 있지.
좋아. 적들이 싫어하는 음식이 뭐였는지 정확히 간파했네.
이런 것도 되죠.
Oh, so close to like
개체의
staggering
유효한
him.
속성을 정확하게 간파했습니다. 제 예상만큼 관리자님의 능력이
There we go.
우수하다는 것이
장부에
증명되는 것
따르면
같아.
맨정신에
다행이군요.
죽여야 하니까.
적들이 흔들흔들. 기회
신속히
아니야?
선원들
대부분 분야에서
나를
저는
보호해라.
최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지 않았던 기능이라 일단 먼지를 털어내야 하거든요.
You gotta be fucking me, dog. There we go.
기세가
Nice
수고해지는
dagger.
저놈을 추적해.
야호. 이기는 편.
직접
우리
나서지.
편.
개체를 구성하고 있는
편하게
부위 중
가자고요.
하나가 파괴되었습니다.
Nice.
이 틈을 파고들어도 좋을 것
I didn't need to speed
같군요.
up. Have you ever wept in such deep longing for that extra minute, that extra second that you let slip through your fingers? Where you wish that your heart would forever sleep, for its every beat was but a painful reminder of the merciless march of time. I don't suppose you have, but you'll have plenty of time to spare. With that, the time Ripper slips into a shimmering portal, a mirror dungeon of the Phantoms. It appears to be the same kind as the one we've seen before. Hey Dante, I got a question. It just occurred to me for the first time. Where did all the time that you used, where did they come from? Oh, that's... I never gave thought to where the time I rewind comes from. All I knew was that when I turned the clock, I ran time. Who cares? Yeah, who cares, I guess. I wish I could answer it, but it's not like I know how any of this works. I wish she quickly shut us down with her brief summary of the circumstances. We did not question it further. A mirror dungeon of the Fathoms. Let's go. Ah, I knew there was a mirror dungeon. Always these.
대의에 맞서는 자들을 확실하게 굴복시켰죠. 그럼 다음 타겟을 설정해 볼까요?
So this is the culprit's Fathoms. 21 minutes. Time it took from the impact for you to hit the cobblestone. Isn't it about time you quit the UDV thing, brother? We really have enough time to scrape by. Wasting our time building unregistered inventions just to annoy some time collectors doesn't do anything. Come on, brother. Dream like you used to, please. You always wanted to work for the T-Corp Patents Agency, didn't you? We're just biding our time, waiting for the right moment, okay? And when that moment comes... But you don't know when that moment is. What if that moment comes after we're dead? Why would any of that matter if we're not here to see it? Take the Grade 1 Inventor Certificate exam or something. Make a submission to the Inventions Expo. There's pretty hefty prize money for receiving the Inventor of the Year award, you know? Did you know that in other nests, everyone enjoys equal 24 hours? Just imagine for a second. What if we saved up a ton of money and moved to a different nest? And maybe we'll get to live 24 hours a day too. I could get a full night's rest and I'd still have half the day to spend. Wouldn't that be so wonderful? I was always full of excuses. For all of my hatred of the system, I remain inert with my ignorance as a convenient shield and excuse for inaction. I knew that our lives would get better if I did get certified, but I always get the same excuse. I don't have the time to take a test. One early morning, my brother came to speak to me. I'll lend you all but 2 hours of my time. That'll give you more than enough time to complete the exam. It ends around 2 p.m., right? I'll meet you in front of the clock tower then. You can give me back the time you borrowed there. Thus, I was given a single day of abundance. The sun still hadn't set when I finished the exam. I had a good feeling about all this too. Maybe I could start dreaming again, just like in that old comic book I used to read, to dream of becoming a professional inventor of all kinds of things. The car rolls in slowly, so slow that anyone could simply step out of its way. Drivers like us, someone who lives 10-hour days. But my brother can't get out of his way because he doesn't have enough time. Hours already precariously stretch over a day, stretch even further. So you are slowly, so slowly thrown into the air. I run as fast as I can the time that is given to me, but I fail to reach him. I never could. Nothing changed no matter how much time I was shared. Because my life was spent in a rush, because it's entirely slipped through my fingers in the blink of an eye. I wandered aimlessly near the street my brother drew his last breath. If only I could taste every flavor of this lollipop sooner. Man, I can't wait to read what happens next. Won't somebody knock me out and wake me up when the next volume is out? The city. Can't wait for them to finally complete my portrait. I hope they captured a little upward flick at the tip of my mustache. It's supposed to look like a bird's wings, yes? It's so tedious waiting for it to be finished. Still 3 in the afternoon. This is one long shift. When will this tedious, busy work end? That's too many people who were so infinitely kill time. Our time will come, just like the saint said. I know it's tedious, but everyone feels the same way. Stop pestering me about it, yeah? You think I'm happy with this small time stuff? I'm just as tired as you are of punching those bloody collectors and running away. I was ignorant. I lacked the time. If only I had the time they killed. If only my brother had the time they killed, he would still be alive. Yes, my brother was right. Can't wait for the moment that won't come. Now's the time for action. I'll find everyone so content with killing their time, and though a clock may look as though it turns evenly on the outside, the cogs that make up the clock within each turn at disparate rates. Some living 44-hour days, some living 4-hour days. We are not like the EUDVA. We know that we must take action. So that's what you've turned yourself into. Within me is a place where all may live in equal hours, our nest. A place where all have felt the very same pain. Your explanation failed to justify your time killing. Yet, I am not the time killer. It is the people of the city who have been slaughtering time. No one even took a moment to doubt that the clock tower may have been broken. Instead, they stopped at merely complaining that it was a slow day and they should just pass the time, killing time. I say dying time from their wasteful clutches. But you still claim that I am in the wrong. Alright, let's... Oop. Yeah, this is the team I'm going with. You enter the dungeon of the Phantoms, right little T-Court Street, past the crowds of busy passerbys. You know, it's a glowing vending machine nearby. Within the streets, completely devoid of color, the vending machine's light seems to resonate much more vibrantly than your heart. Alright, follow the light. We are this close to unveiling the truth of time killing time. We don't know exactly how this case will end, but we decided for John. The brilliance are our guiding light. It's cost 600 game, what the fuck? Is this not like 1-4? It should be, right? Oh, it is. What do I want to get? All allies gain +3 charge. 2 or more participant allies have envy of all. Would be good by someone else. Inflict 2 bind enemies with 10 plus tremor. Okay. Skill deal +10%. Skill deal so deals 20% damage. Dead. Any enemies inflict 1. Oh yeah, I'll take this one. Let's grab this. And this. I guess toys.
본인이 나서지.
카론, 기다리는 거 못해.
신속히 처리하죠.
100초만 기다려줄게.
약점 파악 완료.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
비틀거리고 있는 개체가 보입니다. 이전까지 있었던
사돈.
대부분의 관리자들은 이 타이밍에서 결정적인 일격을 지시하곤 했죠. 효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
이런 것도 되죠.
예측대로군.
좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
야호. 이기는 편, 우리 편.
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지. 보았나? 적은 이렇게 짓이겨졌다. 우리의 확고한 승리가 눈앞에 있다. 그 시간을 뿌리도록 하지.
편하게 가자고요. 편하게 가자고요.
People from all walks of life, all with different hours spent in a given day, speak and move about in varying speeds. The sound coming from this odd and quality fills the street with incongruence. Two people catch your attention in that chaos. A rich-looking youth spies the parent time of balloons walking at a brisk pace towards the streets. A poor-looking old man spies the parent time poverty, slowly walking into an alley with a leisurely look on his face. Who to follow? Let's go. Oh, geez. You asked the old man, how can you smile like that when it's clear that you have such little time? The old man smiles gently before writing something down on the paper. Life is not a matter of how much time we have. What truly matters how we use the time that's given to us. How can I make any other face but smile when, at this moment, I am afforded leisure in such a hurrying world? The old man slowly turns around and walks away. Looks like he left something behind. You look up to return the item to the old man, but he's already gone. Etched clock hands.
예상했던 결과다.
What the fuck does that do? It's like 9 minus current speed, tremor potency. Oh, okay.
사건 속으로.
대부분 분야에서 저는 최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지 않았던 기능이라 일단 먼지를 털어내야 하거든요.
적들이 흔들흔들.
총원 불격!
기회 아니야?
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
예측대로군. 빈틈 투성이로군.
좋아. 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
편하게 가자고요.
직원들이 우세한 환경에 있습니다. 관리자님이 제 말을 집중해서 듣고 있었다는 결과겠죠. 이런 과정들을 통틀어 신뢰라고 부른다고 하더군요. 긍정적인
그
변화네요.
시간을 뿌리도록 하지.
편하게 가자고요. 이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
이걸로 제가 받군. 가스 점화, 엔진 시동.
대부분 분야에서
직접
저는
나서지.
최고의 성능을 내는 AI지만 응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다.
이 작살엔
공감의 영역은
필살의
잘 쓰지
집념이!
않았던 기능이라 일단 먼지를
담겨
털어내야
있지.
하거든요.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
예측대로군.
좋아. 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
매피가 배고파했어.
직접 나서지.
잘 됐다. 그치?
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다.
이런 것도
참고로
되죠.
기계는 입에 바른 말 따위 쉽게 하지
편하게
않아요.
가자고요.
야호.
총원
이기는
불격!
편, 우리 편.
대의에 거스르지 말고.
가진 놈들을 그 시간에 뿌리도록 하지.
우리가 우세한 상황이야.
신속히 처리하죠.
그렇다고 비스킷을 꺼내 먹으면서
그
싸우라는
시간에
얘기는
뿌리도록
아니었는데.
하지.
You see a victim of the Time Ripper. You can't even touch them thanks to the spatial temporal displacement superposition phenomena. Is there anything you can do to help? Try to help. Let's go, Otis. Done everything you could, but none of it yielded a meaningful result. You can't move and you can't physically touch them, but you find a suspicious looking receipt from under the victim's foot. This might be a clue.
예상했던 결과다.
Find yourself at a random T Court Street, a collection status collecting taxes from a citizen. Will you be making your payments in time or in cash? Like I said, we already paid our time taxes in full. Besides, 300 million? Ah, that's absurd. The records state that you have accrued additional time tax penalty due to the donation gift tax. No way, is this because I gave away my time to those kids in the back streets? I only gave them 300 hours, so how the hell does that suddenly snowball to 300 million on in taxes? That doesn't make any sense. Tax calculation T-Card are always exceptionally accurate. Time collector strives towards the citizen to neutralize them. Let's go, Otis! Both claim that there's something wrong with their calculation. The other senators chime in to say that they should probably get the amount verified. One of them knows that, conveniently, there's a collection office nearby. The whispering crowd begins to grow around the commotion. The time collector eventually gives in. Looks like you're not carrying a timepiece. I would stay out of trouble if I were you. Clearly annoyed by the obstruction, the time collector grumbled about something and left, but not before taping something to the senator's clothes. Warning
예상했던
notice.
결과다.
본인이 나서지.
어떤 시간과 공간에 계시는 관리자님이 들을지
총원
몰라도
불격!
그때를 위해서 미리 응원을 녹음해야 한다는 거군요. 아, 이런
파관.
이것도 녹음되고
저놈을
있는 줄은
추적해!
미처 몰랐네요.
차리게. 장부에 따르면 맨정신에 죽여야 하니까.
적들이 흔들흔들.
신속히 처리하죠.
기회 아니야?
정신 차리게. 장부에 따르면 맨정신에 죽여야 하니까. 좋아, 알맞게 먼지 덩어리를 털어냈네. 그러니까 이젠 광을 내볼 차례겠지.
이런 것도 되죠. 편하게 가자고요.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
직접 나서지. 그 시간에 뿌리도록 하지.
편하게 가자고요. 편하게 가자고요.